all.
Yeah, mate.
Here we going.
Want a beer?
Smoker time. No, I've been like, have a beer, mate. Still working. Raspberry and Coke for me, thank you, Lauren. Busy, eh? All right, mate. I'll catch you up later on. Good to see you. See you. Oh, second flat tyre in 2 days. Here's my phone. Get wholesale tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
Race fans, welcome along to Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway, and we're here tonight courtesy of Kiwi Auto Spares for the annual Streetstock State of Origin competition. Yep, Streetstock teams racing. We've got 4 teams out there, the Cobras from Canterbury, the Bulldogs from Dunedin, the Riverside Raiders and the Knights from Nelson, and they're going to do battle on our clay oval for the title of best Streetstock team in the South Island. Also on the program tonight, the Wingless Modified Championships. That's modifieds without the big wings on the top. And at the end of the night, the Demolition Derby as well. It's going to be a busy night's racing. Jared, you've driven modifieds, you've driven street stocks, I think, haven't you?
No, I've never
been in a street stock?
Never been in a street stock.
So what do we usually get when we see all these street stocks do their thing around here?
Well, this is one of those compromises that you have, because this is ultimately a teams race. So in recent weeks, we've had the New Zealand Superstock teams in Palmy, we've had the New Zealand Stock Car teams in Stratford. A lot of these guys would have travelled, and they're in that mindset of seek and destroy and wreck. But unfortunately for the street stocks, they still have to race within the confines of their normal racing rules. So nothing too overly aggressive, definitely tap and spin, no reverse flicks. Mini stock, this first race we brought to us courtesy of Complete Tyre and Auto, and boy, the youth mini stocks have burst onto the scene this year at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway. We started the season with 4, and we've got 14 of our own cars out on the track there tonight, plus a few other visitors there from Dunedin and Braemouth, and one from Cromwell, albeit via Tibaroo. As the youth mini stocks, they're just heading out, they're going to do a little bit of track packing. The track has had a lot of water on top of it. It will be greasy, very, very greasy, and they will struggle not to make contact in the first couple of laps. Push cars out of the way, we are waiting, we're in the starter's hands. We puff of smoke mid-pack there, someone's got a lovely little oil issue, and Connor Phillips leads us away with the 8C car of Bailey Cooper underneath them. Very sideways, and Cooper goes around, spins to the infield. It's going to be a little bit of throttle control here. On the outside, the 98 car of Kahu Agnew, great run down the outside. So clearly the track's a bit drier up there. The Anderson in the 55 car does the slide job underneath Phillips in the 5. McNally sitting down low, so they've found something on the track there. As we look further back, the 89 car had spun back into the wall. But after one lap, we are on the 55 car out in front with McNally back to Phillips. And the 11C car in there for 4th. We're having a battle with the 18D. And look at the 18C car of Cam Sidaway, almost like he had a turbos. He went around the outside, past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand. So Sidaway's found a bit of drive there. We've got a real box up here. The McNally's in the lead, but he's been given a bit of bumper, which he's normally been at the other end of the season. But he's battling here with the 5 car of Phillips. He does the slide job on him. We move back to the 55 car of Anderson, just slipping back a little bit. You can see McNally there just looking to put the corner of the bumper in a position that would challenge him. Sidaway's had a great run again. He's come off the back of 2 and he's up into 3rd spot. As they head into Enviro Waste, the 5 car and the 21 hang down low, and it looks like there's been a little bit of contact. It's taken both of them around. That's going to hand over the race lead to Cam Sidaway. The 18 car of Finch has come through as well, so 18 first and second, just to confuse us a little bit. The 55 of Jordan Anderson, he's looking to come back into second, and he's got through on Finch. But it is Sidaway well out in front, and looks like Finch has got clear of Anderson. Sidaway taking a super high line, so he's found a little bit of the track that's dry, but it seems to allow him to carry the momentum round as they head through Enviro Waste. And it is Sidaway going in. He's going to, he just glances the wall into one. Finch is taking the same line. He knows he's going to get good drive here too. Anderson staying down low. Berry in the 23 car coming through to challenge on the 5 of Phillips for that 4th spot. And it looks like Berry's gone through in the 23. As we head through Enviro Waste once again at the Kaipo end of the track, it is a challenge here from Finch on Sidaway. Finch has decided to go down low, and he made the track a whole lot shorter. And it looks like he might be able to get through here. Sidaway goes out wide, just washes out, glances the ball, unless he gets a great run off the back of 2. As they head onto the back straight, looks like Sidaway's got the run, but has he got enough room here? The 53 car is going to come into play, and they're going to peel either side of it. No, the 53 car drops to the pole line. It blocks Finch out. Finch looking to make a move through here. The 53 car just washing up, just caught the front bumper of the 18 car. Nothing in it, but Finch has got through. He's got 2 to 3 car lengths over Sidaway. Sidaway keeps using that line up high. He glances the wall. He's going to get the better run, so the challenge is going to be down at Enviro Waste as they come out of 2. You'll see Sidaway just pick that momentum up as they head past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand. Who's going to be the bravest on brakes? Sidaway's coming a long way. He got him right up into the rear bumper of Finch, but as we come off Enviro Waste onto the front straight, we have 1 lap to go. It is still very much Finch. He's actually opened up a gap as they came off turn 4. Berry sitting there in 3rd. Battle on between McNally and Phillips there for 4th. It looks like they might have a bit of pace here on Berry. Certainly McNally using that low line to his advantage. He's right up underneath the 23 car as they hit on the back straight. Our race leader into Enviro Waste for the final time. Sidaway dropped further back. Oh, Berry moved across there on the 21 car, and he's just been getting a bit of Morse code to get out of the way. And Phillips helps him to join through. The checker's gone to Finch. Back to Sidaway. Battle for 3rd goes to McNally. It'll be orange and black to be 3rd there, Tony.
Absolutely, and you've got to be number 18 to get a win in this grade by the look of it. Goodness me, Finch and Sidaway, last time these guys raced here with mini stocks, those 2 were at the front of the field, weren't they, and battling over the 8 laps, and here they are again. So well done to both of them. Finch, of course, getting the win on this occasion. McNally coming through 3rd for Phillips, Berry, Anderson. Jordan Lee Paratanian 7th place, Brown in 8th, McSweeney 9th, and Latham, is it? Yeah, in 10th place there.
So a lot of these drivers too, you will notice their performance have increased quite considerably from the start of the season, and as we're at the back end of the season, a lot of these drivers have been away, they've travelled. Some of them have done the mini stocks in Paradise, which is, I guess, your biggest mini stock meeting nationally for the youth, and a lot of them will have picked up a few lessons in that: how to drive in packs of traffic, how to drive, how to manoeuvre your car, how to set your car up, because you learn real quick if you're going backwards that you haven't got a good setup car. But also they bring that experience back home, and they're just racing that little bit harder, that little bit faster.
Yeah, a good field of cars too. So big thank you to Complete Tyre and Auto for bringing us the youth mini stocks. Next up, Stock Cars, brought to us by Value Cars Warehouse.
Big business or small business, we've got mobile solutions to give any size business an edge. Our regionally based account managers can scope your business and deliver to your evolving needs. Take control of your team's business mobiles with individual plans or shared data pools, along with solutions that offer increased control over device and data security and the flexibility to easily manage your team's mobiles and apps. Whatever your business, whatever your size, talk to your Spark customer lead or business hub today.
Hi, Scott here from X Factor Cars, Southland's V8 specialists, stockists of the South Island's biggest selection of Holden HSV, also with a wide range of everything Ford, FPV and classic American muscle. With an in-house finance specialist, we can tailor build a package to suit each and every budget, from no deposit, structured payments and up to 60-month terms. If we don't have it in stock, our team will search high and low to find what you want. Check out our testimonials, xfactorcars.co.nz.
stock cars out for the second race of the night. This race brought to us courtesy of Value Cars Warehouse, and surprised as many as there is, actually, fair Ivan, because it has been a fairly arduous week or two for some of the stock cars around the country.
Yeah, it has been, and it's good to see some good numbers back in the stock cars back out here. You know, it's been a while since we've had them here. Been away for their teams champs last weekend. Crushers came second in the second tier. They missed out qualifying for the first tier. Jay Holtham, strong performance in the New Zealand title. I think he came fifth out of what they have, about 100 and something, like 200
close to 200 cars, yep.
So, you know, Keatley Tees, he was right in there. Our visitor from Nelson that comes down, he was up there as well, but they took to him in the third heat. He was sitting second on points going into the last race, so they sorted him out. But it was good to see a couple of Christchurch cars with Demetrius qualifying as well.
So our stock cars are gridded up for their first race of the night. Front row of the grid, it is the 64 of Isaac Craig, 53 of Chris Wiley beside him. We wait for the green in the starter's hands, and we're away and racing. So it seems a long time between drinks seeing the stock cars out here at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway. A sneaky sker shoots up the inside in the 43 car into turn one, and George Watson, a genuine greymouth car, spins to the infield. We'll touch on that later, won't we, Ivan? Out in the front, though, sneaky sker. He has left everyone for dead. Brad Rosewarne's getting into it. 52. Lamb's gone around. James Wheeler clipped him on the way through. As Sneaky puts himself round an Enviro waste. Not so subtle, and it just causes a concertina effect out of all of this. Chris Wildley's kept his composure in the Fast Blast 53 with Grunt in the 318 behind him. And Grunt goes through in the 318. Everybody's tidying themselves up down there. Isaac Craig's facing the wrong way, as is the 21 car. As we head down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, we go red. And
some have seen it, some haven't. Some have heard it.
Okay, so we've been pretty good on the red this year at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen, haven't we, Ivan? It's been that whole red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At 5, you get the option of pulling to the infield.
Yeah, you do, and you know, going down the back straight with a bit of that sun, to be fair, if you're looking for the lights, but they are wearing earpieces, and they should have been fixing it. So
just watching Eb Young there.
Being told to go back where he was.
He was behind the 222 tank of Khan Gray. He took something and turned it into a diamond. And as we head around, it is Giles, but he has got the sequential number behind him, the 317, heading through there back to Rosewarne, and Wildley hasn't lost grip. Eb Young is catching up, as is Craig Robb. And somewhere out of nowhere, James Wheeler's got through on Khan Gray. Alex Rondell sitting back there, sneaky sker trying to turn something back into this race. He had a great start, but a terrible first lap. And
Rosewarne fires him out of the way.
Yeah, fires his teammate out. Khan Gray gets out of shape there. Looks like she was trying to straighten up there on the 97, but it is Jaden Giles out in front. Back to Chris Wildley. The battle is on here. Now, this is a pure race. These guys are just going hammer and tongs. They're not leaning on each other too hard. Craig Robb back to Evan Young, and Holton back there in the 6th spot. As we head through Enviro Race once again, you can just sense a few of these drivers must be getting sick of that sunstrike as they turn it in at turn 3. And our race leader starting to get into the back markers there. The 15 car circulating midway on the track. Is he going to cause a bit of a headache? Julian Lynch, he loves to use the bumpers on that car. Giles goes through on him cautiously, very cautiously. Craig Robbs made the big slide on Wild. He moved himself into 3rd spot.
Eb Young coming through there with a bit of bumper.
Yeah, well, he's old school. He'll use the bumper and the wall. He loves to introduce you to the concrete. Rosewarne coming through here, and he's up on the back of the 15 Norwest construction car. That's one of his, I wouldn't say teammate, but the sponsor of his car. And Eb Young coming through. He's going to give the 15 car a wallop up the tube for his sakes. Now they're all fun and games down there. White flag is out for the 318 machine. Sneaky Skur somehow has managed to get through up to beside the 51. Our race leader though, final time past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. It is Grunt there moving through back to Rosewarne. Grunt's just got to keep it tidy. Rosewarne comes through, gives him a big wallop in the back end, just tries to square him up a bit, but Grunt gets on the gas. He will take the checkered flag back to Rosewarne. Skur manages to salvage something out of a disastrous first lap, and that'll be Young with Holton in behind.
Well, looking at the lap times, they were doing 23.9s. Rosewarne did a 23.16, 23.24 for 22.33 for Skur, so they're all getting about the Eb Young did a 23.24, 22.15 for Daniel Lamb, so the guys further down the field were actually a bit more pace, but I think the track conditions caught a few out there, Jared. Coming out of 3 and 4, they were all bouncing off the turn 4 wall.
Yeah, she was pretty wet as they came off there. To be fair, just keeping it straight. Interesting, there is a few little ridges across the track. It'll make it a little bit rough, and now of course we move straight into the modified. No, sorry, I tell a lie. It was a street stock race before we go into the modified time trials. So the modifieds are going to get a different track again. The street stocks are going to get a fairly smooth track. There are a few little lips there, but nothing to get too concerned about.
Situated just 1.5 hours drive from Christchurch is Hanmer Springs, a small alpine village that has everything for the adventurer or for someone looking to relax. Stay a while and enjoy a bike ride through the numerous bush tracks, or relax in the famous hot pools. Take the whole family and let the kids take on the many attractions on offer. And to top off your stay, book now with Hanmer Holiday Homes, where there's a budget and accommodation to suit everyone. Call now.
So what do? We supply hose and fittings and skill to get equipment up and running.
We're a one-stop shop, lubrication, fire suppression and hydraulics. The service that we provide, there's no other company that can do it and do it as well as we do.
We've got 8 branches in New Zealand, 70 distributors, 130 service technicians and vans. We're also in Australia, but within New Zealand we've been here a long time and we are the market leader.
So Kiwi Auto Spares bringing us race 3, the Streetstock State of Origin. This is the first race, the Knights versus the Raiders.
This event's certainly taken a turn over the years. Of course, I remember one of the very first one, and it's the true commitment there. I mean, you look at the Riverside team, they've taken us. Canterbury have been painting their cars up for the last couple of years, but Riverside have once again just stepped up the level. As we're in the starters' hands, we wait for the start car to move, we wait, and we're away and racing with the 79 car leading us away. First couple of corners aren't going to mean a lot. Real boys, the 19 car launches at the panel van, the 83 puts them around, and we're onto that back straight. So we mid-pack, everybody launched at each other. Out in front, it is the 79 of Skur, back to the 9 of Musgrove. So Nelson first and second. The 81 car trying to shorten up. Hamish Regatta there trying to shorten up Enviro. He looks like he's clipped the back of the 79 car. And we're going to have cars all over the track as we head down the back straight.
But at the moment, it's Ryan Musgrove in the lead of this race, and a healthy lead too.
It is the 81 car there getting a bit of treatment there from the 79. So first on the track, it is Musgrove, back to the 81 of McGregor, followed by the 79 of Skur, who dove into Enviraway super quick. And unfortunately for Musgrove, he is absolutely exposed. The 3 cars in front of him are all Invercargill cars, and that is not what you want. You do definitely want to have a teammate in there to at least cause a little bit of chaos. And you'd kind of hope that their teammates have been watching some stock car teams racing and slow up, but it looks like Musgrove's going to have to go it alone here. First car he's going to come to is the 84 car. He launches at him, gives him a bit of a hurry up into the corner, and he's done it, but he's got the clutch. He's got through. Musgrove's going to have to battle this. Has it done some damage to Musgrove? It has. It's broken him. He's limping to the infield. So the 81 car now takes over the lead. Musgrove is out. Skur knows it. Musgrove's on that infield trying to rejoin. Skur has a crack at the 84 car, puts him in. Lots of smoke down there. We've got cars pushing each other the wrong way on the track. So the 82 car there of Troy Dryden.
The red light means stop, and goodness me, a bit of steam coming off the Nelson car there in turn 4.
Well, we've lifted up a bumper and taken it into the infield. It's not hard to guess which team that belongs to. But yes, our race leader, it was Musgrove. He had to go it alone. He got walled in. The 82 car there, they're sending him to the infield, I'm picking.
Looks like it.
Yeah, from what I saw there, and I'm only going to call it how I saw it, was that he was pushing the car in the wrong direction.
Which is one of the rules actually of the racing here, isn't it? You've got to race in the correct direction.
Oh, certainly over the years I've seen people lose the plot and do dumb things, but... Second on the track, it is Skur over there at turn 4, and he is being dealt to there by the 86 car of Kyrgyzstan. Race leader out in front though, the 81 car. The 98 there of Soper looking to have a go at Kyrgyzstan. Down the other end of the track, whoa, big wallop there from, we're in the wall.
That was a heavy hit.
The 73 of Shannon Ma just got dealt to there by the 83 of Lapsley. We go red once again, and
might be some bits on the track there, I think.
Yeah, wow, Lapsley made the big kill hit on that one, but he put himself in. We're back racing once again. Our race leader is the 81 car, just past the pit gate now as we head into the front. So we look at the front straight here. The 83 car, 73 car from Nelson lurking on that pole line. All Nelson cars through 1 and 2. And to make any difference into this race, we might have to have some cars slow. The 83 is circulating on that pole line. So Lapsley is going to be the henchman for this race by the looks of it. Out in front though, it is the 81 of McGregor.
Ticked off lap 6.
Here we go. The 83 is about to get a wallop there by the 19. Funnels him into turn 1. Going to try and hook into that back guard of the panel van, puts himself into the wall. Skur's had nowhere to go but into the side of his teammate, and the 83 there having a go at the 98 of Soper. Oh, he backs up and just about gets the 73 car on the way through. 86 there on the brakes, takes a wallop there from the 73, and I think he might have lost the steering out of that one. But the panel van doing what it needs to do. The 85 car goes through. The 98 into the back of the panel van. He gets him around in front of the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. Our race leader, car 81. He is being shepherded there by the 85 of Jesse Stevens Hamilton.
Gone red again.
And it's got to be for something broken. What do you got there? So Nelson will probably pick up a good share of points, but they may not, depending on what happens here with the 73 car. He has a crack at the 85. The 81 is just trying to hedge his bets. He doesn't want to go in front. We've lost the tyre down the front straight. Front end of the 19 car's looking ugly. And Soper here in the 98 could do something about the race lead. White flag is going to be out. He's going to see it. He's going to be right on his rear bumper going into one. So the 81 is going to have to play his game very carefully here. He needs to get that panel van between him and the 98 car as they head round out of turn 2. The panel van's there. Will he have a swipe at him? He's going to have a crack. He has a swipe at him. Missed the 73. He's going to give the panel van a hurry up though, into the side. Our race leader through Enviro for what has been a marathon of a race. It is the 81 of Hamish McGregor taking away the race win for the Riverside Raiders. Now it becomes down to a points haul. As we wait to see it all unfold, it looks like Nelson will have second and third, with Stevens for Invercargill fourth, Soper, Rose and Marr. So only 2 Invercargill cars featuring in the top 7. So interesting. That does sort of mix it up. You might have won, but they haven't won convincingly.
For any powder coating job, no matter the size, Invercargill's powder line can deliver the desired professional finish. Specialising in powder coating and thermoplastic coating for any aluminium or steel items. Powder line services are suitable for both domestic and commercial purposes with 2 large ovens on site. Powder line can powder coat anything from mag wheels, car parts, gates, sprint car frames to house flashings, garden seats and aluminium window frames. With 280 colours on site for customers to choose from, we have access to thousands more, which are available by order. Give the friendly office staff a call to book your job in now.
So just some explanation there as to what was going on. You might have noticed the Nelson car got the checkered flag. That looks like that was a mistake from the guys on the pit gate. We're pretty confident that Invercargill car did take the race win, the 85, Jesse Stevens Hamilton, and the referees, I think, agree with that as well. So out on the track now, Wingless Modifieds. Now, let's talk a little bit about these. You probably know the modified class from various racing that you see here at Woodford Glen and around the country, and these guys always have a big wing on the top of their cars. But wingless modifieds are a thing, particularly overseas. They race a lot in the US and in California particularly, and we thought we'd give this a go at Woodford Glen. We've done it for the last 3 or 4 years here at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen. It's been pretty successful. The drivers love it. Tell us a little bit, Jared, about how the wing affects the car and what having the wing removed means for the behaviour of the car.
Effectively, that turns the car in, so it makes it even if you've got a bad setup, the wing will still hold the car up through the corner.
Yep.
So this becomes a bit more of a driver's gig. You've actually got to set the car up to turn. Talking to the likes of Greg Keegan over the last couple of years about this, he's just said you put a big tie-down shock, which basically means one that allows you the car to drop in and then bounce back out. And he said just put your foot on it and go. So you'll find the drivers that overthink it will drive like planks, and the ones that have just getting out there, feel the car out and then just go for it, they'll have a good run. I'm a great believer this is what modified should be looking like. I'm not a huge fan of the wing. I know there's a sort of there's bias both way on that.
So this is a time trial. These guys are going to set a lap time to get the grid order for their first race of the night.
Hey, if you can get a TQ around the track with a motorcycle engine and no wing, then you can get a modified around the track with a big engine and a little bit more stagger.
Absolutely. So Brian has the green flag, and it's the 22 of Hayden Corbett who's going to be first up to set a time. We'd expect, you can see the car sliding into turn 1 there in a way that is unmodified-like, and that's an indication of where the grip isn't. So he's gunning it down the back straight into Enviro turn now, and he's going to aim to set a fast lap time here on his last lap. He picks up the white flag. It's just a 2-lap shootout basically.
So 20.838 on that first one, but of course he did have to wind it up. First bit is that feeling out lap, and you can see it's got a little bit of a push as it heads into EnviroWaste, but he's back on it. I think we will see a little bit of wheel standing by some of the Modifieds. He dropped that to a 16.98.
16.98. So that's the standard so far. Hayden Corbett in the 22 car. Next on track looks like
Philip Allen.
Philip Allen. The
Now,
88.
you will note some of the cars still have their wing trees or the mounts for the wings on the roof of the car. For some of these drivers, it's actually not about they couldn't get them off, it's for getting out of the car, because they grab the wing tree as they get out of the car when they get back to the pits.
And you'll also notice, particularly in the case of someone like Philip Allen, that there's no number on the car because the number is always on the wing.
Yes, of course Modifieds don't actually have to have numbers on the bodywork, and
but he has painted a number on the roof, I noticed, and also in the back of the car as well.
I think all but Ian White may have done that. As Philip Allen, he gets the white. He hit a very conservative first lap there at 21.76. In saying that, he's starting to dial it in a wee bit more. This gives you a bit of confidence in your cars too. You start to learn that when you get the wing on back on it next week, all of a sudden that car's going to settle down in a big way. And Philip Allen there clocking an 18.16. And Hayden McCoy just guesses it as he came straight back out. I was giving him a bit of grief because of his performance in the Super Saloon last week. This should almost be a non-event for him.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he goes. He's not messing around. Guns it through EnviroWaste. Lights go green. He's going to start his 2 laps as he means to go on. Pedal to the metal. Throws it into turn 1. Gets the back of the car out nicely mid-turn and powers out through the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand into EnviroWaste turn. A little wobbly as he comes through 3 and 4. There's a few ruts there, but he passes under the white flag. I'm guessing that was a pretty fast time.
Yeah, dropped under the 22nd on his first lap.
So let's watch him as he goes into the sunshine down the back straight. A little bit of sun strike as he goes through turn 3. Sets it up through turn 4. A touch of dust off the pole line and bingo, there's your checkered flag.
Actually still Hayden Corbett leading him, so Mackay there is 17.18.
So Corbett was a 16.98, Mackay a 17.18, Philip Allen an 18.16. Next up on the track it's Andrew Naven, the 69 car.
Andrew, of course, the man down at the edge.
Lives life on the edge, drives on the edge, drives in an edge. And he's just a little wobbly. You can see the back of the car sliding as he comes through turn 1 there. It takes a whole different set of getting used to, this idea of not having the wing on the top. Much more cautious through turns 3 and 4. Comes out to mid-track, guns it. Hits the brakes a little earlier. He's got a bit more control through turn 1 this time. A bumpy there, lifting the front wheels. Comes down the back straight into the sunshine. Into EnviroWaste turn. And let's see what his lap time is. Looks pretty good to me, pretty smooth.
Flick up there, and we're 17.14.
So fractionally quicker than Hayden Mackay, but still not quite as fast as Hayden Corbett.
Yeah, well, if you want, I got a funny feeling we're about to see the fastest lap here. Mike Gurley in the 4 car, and Mike's done this gig before. You've heard him moan about not having the wing, and then comes out and then beats everybody without the wing. So Mike's fast no matter what.
Just feathering the throttle through 1 and 2 there, just preventing the car from sliding out too far. Just a hint of wheel standing down the back straight there. It'll be interesting to look down the front straight because he often does wheel stand with the wing on. Yep, there's the front wheels lifting off the ground. Nicely controlled through 1 and 2. Plenty of power down the back straight. Gets on the brakes early, sets the car up. Mid-corner, he's going to hit it. There he goes. Takes his checkered flag, lifting the wheels as he does so.
16.58, so he's the fastest.
16.58. That's the time to beat.
That's something you don't normally notice with Ian White's car. He's actually got a breather on the roof of the body, normally hidden by the wing. Oh, it's going to alter his performance too much.
So this is Ian White from Greymouth, the only Ford-powered car in the field. And he's away on his flying 2 laps. Runs it deep into the cush on turns 1 and 2. Comes out mid-track down the back straight. Brakes a little late. He's running a little wider than some of the other guys. Comes out towards the wall, down the front straight. Definitely running a higher line. Deep into the mucky stuff through turn 1 there, but comes out of it. Through 3 and 4, riding the cush. Looking very smooth. I have to say, perhaps one of the smoothest of the lot so far. What's the time, Jared?
17.09, so sitting about third overall.
So it's a good time for Ian White.
And to be fair to Ian and actually Steve Sinclair, I would have suggested their chassis is probably going to suit this the most. Both those cars out of the Lovelady stables, and they've tended to follow at least the bodyline looks of the North American Modifieds.
Yeah.
And they do seem to be just that little bit longer, well, appear to be that little bit longer than the Raceworks chassis.
So here's Evan Nicol in the 13 car. Can't miss it on the track, that colour. Oh, he's very wobbly through 1 and 2 there. Hitting the ruts, hitting the cush, not quite riding it. Out wide on the back straight, past the value car's grandstand. Deep into turns 3 and 4, and that cost him. You can see the car pushed big time there.
I think we're seeing here, Tony, is where Evan's turning the car in where he would with the wing on.
Yeah.
As opposed to preempting where it would, he's backed right out of this. Preempting where it should be turning in from now.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there, Jared. So there's what will probably be one of the slower lap times, I would guess.
Yeah, his ELS isn't actually recording, so it's hard to tell.
Okay, so we can't tell you lap time.
It's impossible to tell, to be fair. And Steve Sinclair comes out, and he will be the last of our modifieds doing the time trials.
So this is the X1NZ modified of Luke Keegan. Steve really coming to grips with this car this season. He's put in some great laps when he's had the wing on the car. Let's see how he goes without. He goes very deep into 1 and 2 there, probably a little too deep, I think. But the car very stable, sitting on the track nicely, runs out wide near the wall past the grandstand. Pretty deep into 3 and 4 as well. Comes out mid-track. You can really hear the note of that engine as he opens it up down the front straight.
Right on it. Of course, this is the only low bar chassis in the actual field, which in itself might suggest that your car might have just that little bit more flex through the front of it.
So he keeps it fairly tight through the last turn. Again, opens it up down the front straight. Let's have a look at the lap time.
17.05, so a great run there. It's just slightly quicker than Ian White, and that'll move him into a reasonably good position. But of course, out of all of that, Mike Gurley, number 1, and number 2 on the track, and that is 22 of Hayden Corbett.
Fantastic. So there's that'll be the order for the first heat, I think. Mike Goulet off the front, Hayden Corbett alongside him, and then we go back with Ian White and Steve Sinclair on the second row, Andrew Navin and Hayden Mackay, and towards the back of the field, probably Philip Allen and Evan Nicol.
After you've done your lap time, it was important for a lot of these drivers to actually watch the way these cars entered into turn 1, because obviously a few of them just moving up the track a little bit further than normal. The car's a little unsettled. Yeah. If you're going to race against someone, you want them to be predictable. In this particular case, these cars aren't going to be predictable tonight, and the drivers even less so. Yeah. And so it was good for a few of these drivers to sit there and just watch what was going on at turn 1. Turn 3, I think, is where it's going to get interesting, because that is definitely the cars are all washing wider. They're not turning in as early as they were. They'll get that sorted out before the end of the night, but it's going to be a bit of work.
It'll make that first race quite interesting, won't it? So next up on the track, that was brought to us by Burger King. Next up on the track, event 5 on the program tonight, it's race 2 for the Streetstock State of Origin, and that's going to be the Canterbury Cobras versus the Beachlands Bulldogs.
Okay, we're here with 15N Nelson night driver. It is Matt Watson. Mate, you were just up for your first race against the Riverside Raiders. How do you think you got it?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Bit of a slow start in the first corner, got spun up and blew the back tyre out, but I managed to be able to get up and get going again and catch up with a few of the boys and just ticked around, and it came out pretty good in the end. But yeah, a little bit lucky, but yeah, it was going all right.
How do you think, as a team, you guys went on there against the Riverside Raiders, a pretty strong team coming up from Invercargill?
Yeah, not too bad. We've got a couple of newcomers in the team that haven't teams raced before, so they done really well. So yeah, no, we went all right. Yeah, they'll be a hard team to beat on any day. So yeah, we're happy to beat them. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, well, thanks for your time, Matt. Obviously, we can see next race of the State of Origin's up, so thanks for your time, Matt. Any sponsors you want to thank quickly?
Yeah, Mitre 10, please. KC, Callanan, Contracting, yeah, and that's about it, yeah.
Cheers, man. Good luck for the next race.
Ivan's just standing behind us. I was going to say sitting standing. It's hard to tell he's that short. He's just laughing away. Is it Jones down there in the 29 car? Yep, just got to turn the nitrous bottle on. And we are racing, and it looks like Hoon's going to lead us away with Jones there. Helm giving a bit of a hurry up. Rob McSherry getting into the back of Hoon. The 47 car's been flicked to the infield, and the 29 car's got the run. Here we go. We get onto that back straight. We open her up and see what we can do. The 62 car, whoa, got clipped by his own teammate, and he's got walloped by the 61 on the way past. This is a fast first lap. Jones heads away, he drops that pole line, and Richards will get right on the back of him, gives him the wallop into turn 1. Back to McSherry. We look further back, everybody's racing it still at the moment. Hoon's up the inside, and yours. The panel van goes in for the kill. The 62 car there, he has got Paul Leslie tucked up the inside of him. Now Leslie's just going to cage him in there, hold him wide. He knows he can't turn back down on him. Now he's got to use the pace. Back to Tom McSherry, and the 46 is circulating slowly on the track. This is where it gets ugly. The 47D car giving Sean Andrew a hurry up. Here comes Hoon. He's going to have to run the risk of getting past Sean Andrew, and Mike Jones is just going to chase the Hoon into the corner. Sean Andrew's going to stay on that low line as the 47 has a crack at Jones. And Paul Leslie has got the tiger by the tail here. He's going to have the 62 car, and he's used the block car beautifully. He picked that nicely. I don't know if I've been brave enough myself to block going into the corner, but Sean Andrews causing the chaos he needs to, and Tom McSherry getting in there as well. At the moment, it is Hearn Richards out in front. They have to stop the Rebel car, the 417, trying to take the 61 into the wall down at Enviro Waste. Sean Andrew, here we go. He's in the mirrors. This is where it's at. The 46 car circulating slowly. Hoon looking to the inside, gives him a tap up the back end. He gets on it and flicks him around. The 61 knows about it as well. So Richards into the back end of the 61, gives him a bit of a hurry up, pushes him mid-corner. And McSherry not being able to do anything, but it's allowed Jones to get within chasing distance. And we're on the infield with the 62 car, off the infield with the 62 car into the 46. And it is the 47 car circulating low. He has a crack at Matt Peterson. Matt Peterson slips through. So our race leader, and Sean Andrews just pulls down in front of the race leader, who he's going to push him to the grass. He pushes him to the pole line, and he gets through on him. It is all on. Rob McSherry wants to get through. He knows he's got the pace on the 29 car. His teammate just washes wide, allows him through. So the Christchurch car is doing good in formation, but they've got to stop the 76 car of Richards. 46 of Andrew circulating slow. Helm, look to the inside. There's nothing down there but pole line. To the outside goes the panel van of Mark Houghton. Circulating slowly, the 61 car of McSherry. The 43 car down at turn 3 goes up by the wall, doesn't want any part of it. Sean Andrews, here we go, off to 47's having a look. Richards goes to the outside, and here we go. We've got McSherry on the back of the Richards machine. He's going to fire him in. He gives him the hurry up. He's put him round, or has he? No, not enough to put him round, but he's got the pace on him. And now the white flag is out.
Now Richards is going to pay.
Yep, Richards is slowed right up. Jones has realised if he sacrifices himself, but no, he's got all gears. Race leader, it is the 92 of Rob McSherry. Back to Paul Leslie, first and second. Jones is fourth on the track. Richards running third. Richards knows he was left exposed. Here we go, race fans. Checkered flag goes out for Rob McSherry. Back to Paul Leslie and Hearn Richards for third. Then we get a bit of a melee going through. So most of those cars finishing that race there, Tony, keeping it all together. That was very tactical compared to the first race.
Absolutely it was, and it looks as though Richards was further down than we thought. Or either that or the ELS has missed a lap there, because that has Richards is only completing 9 laps, and most of the cars ahead of him, all the cars ahead of him, completing 10.
Yeah, I'd say that was an ELS fault in that one. He was definitely at the point end of the field for the balance of that race. Just left a little bit exposed in those last couple of laps, and that is where those 3 Christchurch cars right on the back tail of him were able to do something about it. Sean Andrews' work rate in that race was really high. He was stirring it up, and he was putting himself in places that only a brave man would do, or either that or a man without mirrors.
Okay, we're here with Riverside Raiders manager Jamie Harper. Jamie, bit of a tough race for the Riverside Raiders out there in the first one.
Oh yeah, it was. It's tough. It's tough for both teams really, but I'm pleased to say our boys came through in the end. Hamish, we borrowed Hamish from Christchurch. He came through. The rest of the boys held their own up. Like Tony sacrificed himself. Tony Brock. Most of the boys got out there and played the game and protected Hamish really, and that's what it's all about. Getting the first car home gets the big points.
So we've seen Tony disappear in an ambulance before. Have you got a bit of an update on what's happening with him?
Oh, Tony was concussed. He was actually knocked right out. That's why the Ampro and Woodford Glen have got a very good crew here for that. And it's a precautionary. They've taken him away to Christchurch Hospital, and the rest of the boys will pack his gear up and make sure it gets back to his accommodation for him.
And we can see the team going hard at it here. They're rebuilding their cars just about from the back end to the front end. And did they sustain much damage out there in that first race against the Nelson Knights?
Oh yeah, some of them. Yeah, Chris Kirk is there. It blew the steering right out of his, like destroyed the steering in his. Troy Dryden, the back end in his. He got a pretty severe hit in his, and it's broken all the mounts and smashed a bit of damage in. But that's what you really expect with this game at this particular meeting. It's really entertaining.
Well, thanks for your time, Jamie, and good luck to the Riverside Raiders in the next one, eh?
Oh yeah, we'll boys keep playing the way they did in that race there. We've got Dunedin next, and they're a very, very hard team. So if the boys, yeah, excellent. Thanks,
Well,
man.
sometimes it might be about an hour, and they are just eager to get this one over and done with. As it is Paul Archibald in second at the moment, back to Dempsey with the 62 of Chris Williams tonight.
And this just continues the amazing season that Sarah Bellis has had in that car. Just near the front pretty much every single race. Even if she starts off the back, she gets near the front by the end of the race.
Well, Bellis lives and normally raced out of Greymouth, as I believe, and of course the weather played against them so much. So unlike about half the stock car grade for Christchurch that contracted Greymouth, she's contracted back this way, and she's having a great season in the 18 car. Beautifully turned out machine and very, very quick. Consistently battling here with the 23 car of Paul Archibald.
Yep.
And we move back to Dempsey with Finch in the 18. And Chris Williams used to race this one of the Stone Lane machines.
That's right, yes.
And he'll be making his way to stock cars the next year or two, I believe. Out in front, though, it is Bellis, though, through Enviro Waste. Making quick time of this race at the moment. We look through on lap 6. Back to Archibald. Not a lot of changes mid-pack. Rounding us all out is the 97 car of Gardner from Dunedin. But Bellis heads around through Enviro Waste once again. Back to Archibald, Finch, Dempsey, Williams. Williams having a charge there, straight into the back of Dempsey, gives him a bit of a hurry up. And Dempsey just moves over on him.
It was just a thought there for a second, wasn't there? I might have a crack. But,
well, he gave him the wallop at the turn 3, and it's fair to say that Williams is using all the track and a little bit of concrete as well, as he has a battle there with Bright. Go back to Rob, the 181 with West there. White flag is out for Bellis. And of course, Chris moving to stock cars. He's bought himself a tank, I believe. And Finch all over the back of Archibald. Now, this might be something Archibald's used to at this end of the race when he's been battling with Bellis to have another 18 car in an attack. And as we head through Enviro Race the final time, the checkered flag's out for Bellis. Archibald's just going to allow himself to wash up wide. He's going to drag race himself out with Finch, and Dempsey just pushes Williams to the infield. So these guys think they are racing stock cars.
Shy Rock comes through there strongly too.
And then straight on the brakes at the end of the race, the 26 car of Dempsey. So he's not too pleased with Chris Williams. Oh, I would be fair to say that those boys will be up in the tower shortly.
Could be. Yeah, a little bit of rubbing and racing there in a grade where there's supposed to be no intentional contact.
Well, the beautiful thing is they did a great job of avoiding each other, but they did a great job of diving at each other too. So we'll open that up in the chute at the moment. The stock cars will be coming out very shortly for their second battle of the night.
Brought to us by Mr. Whippy. Mr. Whippy van over on the back straight there. If you fancy an ice cream, go over there and tell him that the commentators sent you.
Isn't this the first round? They're doing a 3-round deal. I think tonight's the first round, then they're in Greymouth next Saturday, and then the final round's here, Battle of the Stocks weekend.
Yeah, it is. There's a bit of a cross-pollinating of the...
CHS have put a sponsorship together for this 3 deal.
I think it's fair to say we'll see the grade grow when we get to Battle of the Stocks, and I think we'll see a bit more carnage because they'll be looking at their big brothers. Plus, there's a few people that don't necessarily like each other. As we go racing, Lamb gets on the go in the 52, heads away. Rosewarne right in there behind him, back to Grunt with Wheeler. Canterbury getting Sneaky Skirt pushing her out of the way. Watson in the 4 car coming through. And we head down. Sneaky Skirt locks that whole front end of that car up as they went down into Enviroways. And it looks like Canterbury turns in on the 317 car. He'll get going. We'll get to see if he's going to use the front bumper. Out in front though, Rosewarne back to Lamb, Grunt, Skur, Watson. And it is the 317 car just looking to get back out and going, get some pace into it. As Wheeler's been put around by Lynch and gets a wallop there from Cross. And our pack is moving now. The 317 car got up and he's running second on the track, but he's actually a lap down. As Wheeler's pulled to the infield looking to rejoin. The 222 car up the inside of Evan Young. Washes out right across the front of him. He just lets it go to the wall. Wheeler circulating slowly on the track. It is a Rosewarne leading us back to Lamb. And the battle on there between Skur and Giles. Cross spins to the infield in the 21. Julian Lynch there, he's got 2 Greymouth cars. Well, Kaiapoi / Greymouth cars. It's the 9 car there, looking through the Lynch, looking to have a bit of a play. Out in front, race leader past the value cars, Warehouse Grandstand, Brad Rosewarne, CHS, Norwest Contracting Machine. And then Daniel Lamb, who has overcooked it. He just popped that in sideways a little bit too much. Isaac Craig getting out of the way in the 64. The 9 car and 97 having a battle through Enviroways, but our race leader once again past the Valley Cars Warehouse Grandstand, absolutely flying. Craig there in the 64 car getting out of the way. Race leaders into the back markers, albeit you wouldn't often call Eb Young back markers. Flames rocketing out the back of the 64 machine. Eb just gets out of the way. Khan Gray, she's firing that tank in sideways, but gets real unsettled mid-corner. Rosewarne though on a screamer. Lamb puts himself around again, so he's having a...
he just got put round by 317. 318, sorry.
Yeah, don't you love triple digits? Out in front though, it is Brad Rosewarne. It's almost like you're watching a modified head round. White flag will be out. And that's going to be for Rosewarne. One suspects the 97 and 222, they're having a bit of a play. Rosewarne there, he's just weary of the back markers. Huggies wants to come through. Sheckard's gone to the race to Rosewarne, back to Skur, and Giles will be third. 64's put round there by Yogi. And we go, what on earth is that large bit of rubber? It's a bit of rubber. Phew, that was I could see it going high. It was a large bit of something black. And it looks like part of the wheel of Eb Young's car. Well, rubber off the wheel.
So Brad Rosewarne in the 59C car takes away that win with a lap time, fastest lap time of 20.32. Kieran Skur at 20.33. Then we have a look at the rest of the field. 20.79, 20.81, 20.68. So these guys are starting to pick up a wee bit.
Hi, Malcolm Nardo from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV of your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
So those are the two quickest, and they get to start. Now, we did have some points, didn't we, from
the Streetstocks?
Streetstocks, and I shall give you those briefly now, because, of course, everyone knows how important it is to give out points here at Ampro Tools at Woodford Glen Speedway. The Cobras...
If you don't, you'll hear about it.
Absolutely. The Cobras totalled 150 points. The Bulldogs, 30 points. The Raiders, 115. And the Knights, 65. So at the moment in the points race, the Cobras are in the lead on 150, from the Raiders on 115, the Knights on 65, and the Bulldogs on 30-30. That's your point situation for Streetstocks.
This will be an interesting one for you, Tony, without any numbers on some of these cars.
Yeah, I'm going to be working hard on keeping track of Philip Allen and Mike Goulet, or at least from the appearance of the cars. Maybe from the way they're driven might be slightly easier to tell one from the other.
One would suggest yes.
So Hayden Mackay off the front, on the outside, he's the pace setter. On the inside, Mike Goulet and the black Raceworks chassis. We go back to the second row of the grid, Hayden Corbett in the 22 car, and the 82 of Steve Sinclair. Second row from the back, the 32 of Ian White from Greymouth, Andrew Naven in the 69 car on the outside, and the back of the grid, Evan Nicol in the bright orange 13, and Philip Allen in the jet black 88. So Brian has the green ready, slow pace down the back straight there. Hayden Mackay holding back. Remember, he's the pace setter. Here we go, green, and we're racing and we're away. Hayden Mackay lurches around a little bit as the power goes down on the front straight, but he gets to the turn 1 first, comes out of turn 2 first, and Goulet settles for second place. Good battle for third there between the 82 of Sinclair and the 22 of Corbett. Naven drifting a little bit wide, and that allows Ian White to come up the inside, but Naven's got more power out of turn 3 and balks White big time down the front straight. At the back of the field, Nicol and Allen fighting it out for the rear of the field, but out front it's Hayden Mackay in that 7 machine. Looks so different without the wing. Comes out of turn 3 and he's starting to build a little bit of a lead, you feel, on the 4 of Mike Goulet. Good battle for third place. Sinclair's got round the outside of Corbett and he's taken over third at the moment, opens up a couple of car lengths on the 22 car, and here comes Naven. Here comes Naven deep into the turn 3, tightens it up as he comes out of 4, but he's lost a little bit of ground on Corbett. So out front, the 7 car, Hayden Mackay, looking good as he goes past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand into Envirowaste turn, comes out of turn 4 now. He's got about 6 or 7 car lengths over the 4 of Mike Goulet. We go back through the field, we've got third place, Stephen Sinclair battling it out with the 22 of Corbett. Just tucked in behind them is Naven. Good battle down the back straight there, virtually side by side. Corbett gets his nose in front as they go through 3 and 4. Gets bunted a little bit there by Sinclair. And Sinclair comes back down into turn 1 just in front. Good racing there, and Naven's right on the back of these two as well. It's a real battle for third place here in this Wingless Modified heat number 1. Sinclair seems to have that third place under control at the moment. Out front, of course, it's the 7 of Mackay and the 4 of Goulet. Goulet just unable to make a dent on Mackay, and it's a big gap back to the 82 of Sinclair, who seems to just have the edge over the 22 of Hayden Corbett at the moment, and Naven keeping a close eye on those guys. 7 laps down now for Hayden Mackay. Just, I assume it's a 10-lap race, or is it a 12? Don't know. But anyway, not many to go. We've broken the back of it. Corbett's whipped up the inside past Sinclair, and he's taken over third place. Sinclair won't put up with that for long, though. He's got some power in that 82 car, and he's going to use it down the straights. Naven started to get quite racy as well, skirting the dirt through 1 and 2. And all the action here for the battle for third place at the moment. Hayden Corbett in the 22 car, just drifts a little wide. Sinclair's trying to stay on the back of him. You get the feeling that the tyres have gone off a little bit on that 82 car. Meanwhile, out front, Mackay puts the a lap on the back marker of Philip Allen. And here's your checkered flag waving. Hayden Mackay takes the race win. Mike Goulet in second place. Corbett gets across the line in third, followed by Sinclair, Naven and Ian White in the 32 car. Evan Nicol and Philip Allen just about to cross the start-finish line now.
Yeah, beautiful drive there by the Mackay and Gurley, but then they're fairly well experienced in this. The battle really has been consistently this season in most races for third spot, and that was no different with the 22 of Corbett and Sinclair. Got a little bit aggressive on the pass, a little bit of contact, but they kept it all tidy and able to regain. But it certainly was no real change in the people that win the races, just the speed of the cars a little bit different. Fastest laps in those ones were around the low 17.0. Mike Gurley, the fastest, is 17.01. As Modifieds, they're just having to dial the heads into that bit of not having the wing to settle them down through the corners. But certainly the 82 car, as we watch it on the Woodford Glen replay, at times it was a little bit twitchy, but as an average, seemed a little bit more settled on the track than the 22 car.
It did, didn't it? So it'd be interesting to see if there's any tweaks they make to the setup when they come out for their next heat, and then of course they have the final at the end of the night. So that was brought to us by Printwise. Thank you to them. They of course print our Dirt Talk magazine, so if you want one of those, pop down to the souvenir stand. There's probably still some left there.
Okay, we're with 19N Nelson Knight, Casey Rise, getting all buckled up, ready to take on Christchurch in the next heat, mate. You all geared?
All geared up, mate, ready to go.
You're going to send it out there, are you pretty excited for this team's race?
Oh, mate, always excited. Go hard, race hard. Should be good.
Have you got the car all geared up and you've had your first race? How'd you get on?
Oh, we went pretty well. Unfortunately, I think Invercargill slipped in first, but no, we should hit them Christchurch back hard and, yeah, just do our best.
Well, good luck for the next heat against Christchurch, mate. It's going to be
Mate, thank you.
Alrighty, so Streetstock's back on the track. Looks as though they're going to go in their reverse direction this time for this race. Of course, Streetstock's the only grade in New Zealand Speedway that could go either way, and we mean that in a racing direction sense.
I'm glad you clarified that for us, Tony. That could have been awkward. This race brought to us courtesy of our Performance and Engineering, and the Beachlands Bulldogs are out there. Their team consists of Jesse Helm, Lockie McLean, Sam Cathro, Mark Hooton, Daryl Richards, otherwise known as Hoon, and Clint Giles. And then the Riverside Raiders team, they are joining us out there. Of course, they're down one, but their team consisting of, now we have the numbers here as opposed to the normal race numbers. So 81 is Hamish McGregor, Troy Dryden in 82, 83 AJ Lapsley, Tony Lardbrook in 84, and 85i Jesse Stevens Hamilton, and 86i Chris Kurgazu, albeit that we have them on the screen as the normal race numbers. What I would say is, based on that last race, AJ Lapsley was prepared to put the green panel van, or green bumpered panel van, on the line there, Tony.
Absolutely, the 83 car was definitely our pick for stirrer of that race, that the last one he was in. There is a prize for the Streetstock Stirrer of the Night, and us commentators up here get the privilege of picking that.
We're probably the few people that actually get to see all the racing. Front row of this grid, interesting battle. These drivers are no strangers to each other, the Dunedin and Invercargill teams, and front row there, Hoon in the 76, the outside of him, Chris Kurgazu. This will be fast off the front. Of course, we have lost a couple of cars. Looks like the 81 car they're struggling to start, as we looking at, he's calling to 3 minutes, so the 81 car calling for 3 minutes, and that means we'll just let the balance of the pack circulate. And McGregor there just not firing. Hamish McGregor having a bit of a great run in the first race, but
yeah, it's all gone wrong here at the start. For the start.
Car 81 has withdrawn from the race, wasn't able to get it refired, so the Riverside Raiders will start one down, albeit they were one down to start off with, Tony.
So two down effectively, yeah. Let's see what happens off the front of the grid.
We're away and racing, and you can see Kurgazu just staying with Richards. Richards is just trying to push him wide. They bunch all up as they head around into Envirowaste. Still, it's getting ugly mid-pack there. And out of all of this, the pace of Hoon Richards, he's just left them standing. It's got all ugly middle to the back of the pack, but Richards, as the 43 car, trying to drive through the side of the 83. The 85 of Stevens Hamilton there, absolutely just everything he can do to stay within bumper shot of Richards. The 86 over at the wall there, just trying to get round, parked up at turn 2. It looks we've lost the 62 panel van of Mark Houghton over the far side.
So just as he did in the first heat, Hoon Richards is away and racing.
Helm has a good crack here at the 82 car. You can see the ignition lights all came on. And it looks like he's opened himself up though to the 86 of Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's into Helm, puts him round, pushes him down the straight sideways, gives him the flick round to the infield. The 47 car's into the back of the 82, gives Troy Dryden the big hurry up. You can see the blue light on the dash, which I'm assuming is the ignition light. Every time he takes those big wallops, you can see it almost stalling. Oh, and Hoon Richards is pulled to the infield. Well, that's interesting way of throwing it away.
Ominous sign for the Beecham Bulldogs.
Well, the 85 car takes over the lead. So they're in the hands of Stevens Hamilton. Oh, 47 just whops the back of 82, and I think he took the radiator with him. There's water all down the front straight, so you don't want to be running that pole line. The 85 car's our race leader, and he has to contend with the 47 of Sam Cathro. The 82's on the brakes. He's given him the chance here. This is the opportunity, but Helm's coming in with a steamer. And he's gone to the outside. His teammate's doing everything he can to block for him. Helm's wrecked the front of his 21 car just to try and get to the race leader, and it looks like he's done enough to give a flat tyre to the 85, who spun. We're going to have to look to the ELS. It's going to be McLean taking over the race lead out of all of this, so the Bulldogs might pull this one off. The 82 car here is crabbing down the front straight. As we look through here, the race leader, it is Lockie McLean with, is it Helm behind him? No, we're going to do Stevens and Lapsley. But Lapsley is circulating on the pole line slowly, so it's all unfolding here. Race leader, it is Lockie McLean. Jesse Helm here in the 21 car. He wants to get in front of him because he knows he needs to block for him. The Lapsley circulating on the pole line. This is going to be a tubing and a half. No, Helm's going to back off. Wait till he pulls up high, hooks into him, and he just gets into the side of Lapsley because Lapsley was looking for that race leader. Uh-oh, he didn't get clear of him. Lockie McLean's exposed. The 82 car is... Boom. And McLean gets him up the tube. Helm's going to have to come in here for the kamikaze, or can he? No, they've got a hold of Johnson. And he just about... sorry, McLean. So race lead is handed over again. We look for the ELS to cleanse itself. Still Lockie McLean. He is a lap up on everyone else. So that's why he is able to just sneak through. The 47 on the back of Lapsley. No, he backs off him. Lapsley goes wide, gets himself crossed up and just about takes the hit. And McLean's getting caught up in the battle at the back end, but he's actually a lap ahead of everyone, and he's a bit to cause himself some absolute aggravation he didn't need, as he's just getting dealt to there by the Riverside cars. And Lapsley in the 43. So McLean has stopped, got involved in some block work that he didn't need to do, and it's caused him to drop back out of the results. And Lapsley's his work rate's huge here. Helm, standout performer here for the Bulldogs if they get away with it. He is having a look at Lapsley. He's got him beautiful lined up on that rear bumper. Lapsley
gets away with it.
Yeah, well, he
gets the white flag. It's Lapsley in the race lead at the moment. Oh, he gets turned around. And who was next across the line?
Sam Cathro. And he's been doing all the work. So Cathro slams into the 82 car, but actually Jesse Helm's actually the one that's going to bring it home for the win. Yes, he is. So Helm, for all of the chaos he's been causing and all the block work he's done, he's going to take the checkered flag. It is the 21D car of Helm. Well done there. That was a great race for him. Lapsley in for second, and then we're just going to let it all unfold. Kyrgyzstan looks like he's third. But there was some brilliant driving. There was some dumb driving there too. Guys who were well out in front didn't need to get involved in the carnage. But hats off to Jesse Helm. He was causing the chaos, but managed to bring it home for the win.
So dead cars all over the track. So Dunedin first and get the lion's share of the points. They were also fourth and fifth. But Lapsley and Kyrgyzstan getting the points for second and third place, and that could be quite crucial because they had a good points lead to start with, and with the addition of those second and third place points, they might have done just enough to get through to the final. It's going to be close though, because the Bulldogs picked up good points there for first and also fourth.
Yeah, only four finishes recorded out of that. So yeah, it's going to be A great one there by Jesse Helm, and one would suggest that he probably didn't even know he was about to win that race.
No, I don't think he probably did, but good stuff. So well done to the Beachlands Bulldogs for taking away that heat of the Streetstock State of Origin, brought to us by Kiwi Auto Spares, and that particular race brought to us by AR Performance and Engineering. We'll be back soon with our next Streetstock State of Origin encounter.
At Wholesale Tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, clean it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
A little bit similar to the equation's a little bit similar to what we saw in the previous heat. The Cobras enough points to just race a little bit conservatively, try and bring their cars home, get a few extra points to make sure they get into that final, whereas the Knights have got to pretty much put everything on the line and go big time. So your Nelson Knights, Ryan Musgrove in the 9N, Matt Watson in the 15 car, the 19 of Casey Rose, the 73 of Shannon Marr, the 79 of Rob Skur, and the 98 car of Neville Soper. And the Canterbury Cobras, familiar with most of these guys here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen, 27 Paul Leslie, Mike Jones in the 29 car, 46 of Sean Andrew, 61 Tom McSherry, 92 Rob McSherry, and the 433 Matt Peterson. So some shots of what's going on at the pit gate there on our live stream going out at the moment. Fair bit of hammering going on under the back of the 61 car of McSherry.
So they're telling Skur, I wouldn't be surprised. There we go, we're going to start them the way they are. Whoop.
Yep, you're not good enough in time, so...
Yep, they've all realised.
Stuff you, we're going to go racing anyway.
It is a promotion, not a championship, so we've been given the... There we go, we're racing. And the 19 car there, it didn't move at all. So the freight train that was trying to bunch up might have actually backfired on the 19 car of Rose. Rob McSherry tucked in there, and he is almost stuck to the back of it. So he's broken clear of the 19. So the first car around, one lap down, it is Paul Leslie, and he is steaming up the inside of the 19 car. Matt Peterson's there, Skur in the 79. Matt Peterson's going to have a crack here at the 19, flicks him round as Skur gets put around by McSherry. So Christchurch running 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 92 of Rob McSherry, he got held up. He's the last Canterbury car, and we know he's got a great fuse for this sort of thing. Paul Leslie looking to squeeze through, the 98 of Soper having a crack, and here we go. We have a brave man to take on Rob McSherry. Matt Peterson into the back of the Nelson car down there, tries to take him to the wall. Here comes Tom McSherry, just bombs that back into the Nelson car. It is, at the moment, Paul Leslie, a race leader. Back to Matt Peterson, Tom McSherry, Sean Andrews. So Christchurch 1, 2, 3, 4. Our race leader is going to be up on the back of the 98 very soon.
So Christchurch in control of this race. They just need to be a little bit cautious now. They've got the track position they need. They're working as a team, working as a unit. Bring it home.
Well, the 98 of Soap is the one that could actually cause a bit of aggravation here, but he's not slowing down. And saying that, he's got a fairly rampant Paul Leslie behind him, and that may not be his best option, as Jones gets in here with the 73, and the 73 looked to attack him on the infield. He had to back out of it. And our own Rob McSherry goes through. Now Rob was the last car on the track for the Canterbury team, and he'll be going in with a bit of pace. Paul Leslie's backed out of this. He's looking at the rear bumper, and whoa! I don't know who it was on the back. It was McSherry. He had the 19 car on a freight train. He was not, and he's having a go at the 9. Mike Jones there gets through, and the 9 car's going lock to lock. So he's doing power steering testing. Matt Peterson's hit through on the 73 car. He just gives him a steam, pushes him down into EnviroWaste. Paul Leslie knew to back out of it, but the problem is you've now Skur nosed into the wall. The 73 is getting put round, so Christchurch still 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the 9 car of Musgrave. He is about to look at his mirrors, and all he's going to see is red and black. Matt Peterson into the back end. Here we go. Tom McSherry's going to go down the outside. They're going to box the 9 car in. Sean Andrews goes through. Matt Peterson puts the 9 car around. The 19's there, but Matt Peterson's going to have to use the power. He gets on the gas. The 19 car, right on the heels. Skur in the 79. He's about to get Sean Andrews, giving him a tubing through onto the front straight, and he gets him out of shape, puts him to the infield. It's a Christchurch 1, 2, 3, 4 still, and chaos caused by Jones and McSherry on the back straight.
So Sean Andrew, Leslie and Peterson all on the same lap, all leading.
And they have the pace on the, does look like the 19 car of Casey Rose. He has the straight line speed, but he just doesn't have the track position. And
so there's the white flag. Andrew goes through.
He's got a flat front tyre as well. 9 gets put around. Oh, it must be delightful to look in your mirrors. It's bad enough when you've got 1 car chasing you down. The 73 car there looking to catch McSherry, and the Christchurch cars. It's going to be a battle of who's going to get across the line. Paul Leslie wants his obligatory race win. He gets it. Sean Andrew, or Tom McSherry, Matt Peterson. I'm not sure where we're looking on the track. Actually, the 29 car is positioned to get 5th as well. And Rob McSherry gets through. We wait for the ELS to unfold.
So it looks as though, if the ELS is to be believed, Paul Leslie takes the race win from Sean Andrew, Matt Peterson, Rob McSherry, Mike Jones in 5th place. The first Nelson car is the 6th placed car of Soper and the only one to finish on the lead lap. So a comprehensive points haul for the Canterbury Cobras there.
One's thinking they've been talking to the Glen Eagles.
Possibly so.
And it is, we head look at turn 1, we're funneling on and we're trying to go 3 wide. Bright leads us around, but Finch is in there as well in the 18 car. The 48 of Philpott to the outside, but Finch is just giving Bright the big hurry up, and West is going to join in as well. And West has held that car down low. He's had a great run the last few meetings in the 34 car. And something I did learn reading the ad for it is a Lovelady chassis.
Oh, there you go.
So out in front it is Bright, back to West. And the Onyx Holmes car ducking up the inside of Bright as we head into EnviroWaste. We go back to Finch with Rob in the 181. And it is a super quick race here from Caleb West. Dropping the only car that's dropped below 23 seconds in this race thus far, and he is looking to make short work of it. Rob having a look back or look at Bright up the inside, and Ballas looks to join in shortly too. Philpott just slipping back into the pack a little bit of tap there from Dempsey on Williams. Got a sneaking suspicion that might carry on through this race just somehow.
Yeah, there should be a little bit of niggle there, doesn't there?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but based on the first race, it could be interesting at the back end of this race. Out in front though, as we head into Enviro Waste, it is West back to the 18 of Finch and the 181 of Rob. Bellis in the 18. Oh dear, we're playing the numbers game again, Tony.
Yeah, we are.
And it is Caleb West just trying to keep control of the 34 car. As Finch is up the inside in the 18. Challenges him. West shuts him down. He's got the pace on him. Just whether or not whether Finch can get a better run into the corner. West has to protect that bottom part of the track.
I have to say, really good driving by these first two. Great defensive driving by Caleb West and some really good attacking there by the 18 car of Finch.
Yeah, well, both these drivers have had a fair bit of success over the years. West really coming on strong this season.
He's opened the door a little bit there. If Finch can get his nose up, he does, but he gets it closed on him.
Yeah, certainly very assertively closed. Bella's sitting back just a little bit further. If these two battle away at the front, she'll be able to add into that lead. Back to Rob, Paul Archibald and Bright in the 17. 17 coming back at the 23 car as they went into Enviro Waste. White flag is out for West. He's just got to keep his composure. One big deep breath.
Finch goes to the outside this time. Is he going to cut back to the inside out of two? Yes, he is.
But he's going to get a little bit of a run to the outside. That's going to be on down in Enviro Waste as they head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. Into Enviro Waste, it looks like West is going to lead us out. Back to Finch, and Bellis has had a great run that last lap or two, but just not enough to take any more position.
To give you an idea there, on the last lap, Caleb West at 22.5, Finch at 22.7, and Sarah Bellis at 21.9. So she was significantly quicker on that last lap, and that's why she caught up very close to the back of Finch's car, but still ended up taking third place there in that race from Rob, Bright, Archibald, Williams, Dempsey, Philpott and Booth in 10th place.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with two locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
Okay, we're here with Christchurch Cobra 46D. Sean Andrew, mate, winner of the last heat for the Cobras. You're living the dream out there.
Oh, it was great racing, eh? Nice and clean, and all the boys did their job, and makes it in life really easy.
It makes it quite easy for you just to come on through, and yeah, it really showed the teamwork in there. You were all flying together like the V and come out better off against Nelson anyway.
Yeah, it was great. Like as I said, yeah, everyone did their job and just kept it clean and kind of read the race real nice and worked out real great.
Can you let me in on some secret tactics that you're going to use for the next heat?
Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know. We'll just wing it, and if it's working, I guess we'll try and maybe keep it, or we'll, yeah.
Any sponsors you want to thank, mate?
Oh yeah, like the guys at Trenchless Services, Transform Panel and Paint, Suck It Up Limited, Falcon, Commodore Parts for Ingura, all the pit crew and all that, like the hours just during the week to keep these cars, you know, good, and the effort from everyone else is mint. The Woodford Glen shop, always endless supplies of gear and all that, all your racing gear you need, bloody great.
Well, Sean, congratulations on that last heat win, especially doing it for the Canterbury Cobras, and good luck for the next one. It's some pretty hard racing out there.
Oh yeah, it's good. One of the best meetings of the year for Streetstock. So you can't beat teams racing.
Well, enjoy, man, and good luck.
Awesome, cheers, thank you very much. Cheers, have a good one.
Yeah, it's one of the curses of this grade, and I certainly, from my time in it, haven't helped causes, but they tend to lack, stock cars tend to lack a little bit of reliability at times. Unless, of course, you're someone like Brad Rosewarne or Grunt. as we are good on up. Julian Lynch there, the Northwest Racing Machine, all by his little lonesome. Alex Rondell right behind him, and Yogi there in the 44 to his outside. So Evan Ross there, the 44 car, and I believe that is a Ironmonger chassis under there.
Yeah, nice looking car, the Ryco 24/7 sponsored machine.
We're in the starter's hands, we look to get going. And we are. Great start there by Yogi in the 44. And just looking to see the pushing and shoving. It's all everybody sorts themselves out. Rosewarne there splitting through there. Sneaky skirt, very, very quick in the 43 car. Super quick. Head down into Enviro Waste. We wait for the first lap to come. And 317 of Holtham out in front. Back to Ross. Third, the battle's on here. Rob Skur and Watson. Rosewarne's there. Sparks off the 44 car past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand. And 317 of Holtham leading us round. Skur goes through. Watson on the back of Rob. Rob's just pulled out high by the wall. Just letting everybody through. Something's gone wrong with the 911. And it is Holtham. Yogi or Skur. Rosewarne's in fourth at the moment. So the 52 car there into the 318, who's just got walloped. Oh, he's getting bounced around there. He got hit by the 15 and then the 51. Nowhere to go but straight in. And it doesn't look like Daniel Lamb's going to refire. Plenty of space around him, so they'll give him a bit of time. Race leader goes through. Red lights on.
He was lucky not to go over there, and he was up on his side, and looks like the rear wheels come off, left rear.
Oh yeah, that'll cause an issue.
That'll cause an issue.
Oh, it's lying on the track, that's why. Yeah, he got a fair bit of hang time there, just bounced around, and then as he came round, Eb Young, nowhere to go, square into him.
So as they looked at picking him up, with these things too, it's a Rees tank, Hartley engine. They're an absolute mongrel to fire up again when you stall them.
Yeah, well, they certainly, especially the ones on E85, they don't like to refire.
Have a look at the replay as they come through 3 and 4.
Lynch gets into him, goes around, clips wildly. Young, nowhere to go, and actually the wheel had already broken off by that point and was actually under his car, which is why he bounced up into the air.
Very lucky he wasn't flattening that wing.
Yeah, centre of gravity just happened to be in the right spot to save him there. As he had a crack there at the 318 car, and of course it opened himself right up for the hit right there. And actually Julian Lynch, when you watch it on the replay, you can see he got underneath the wheel gate. Yeah,
and Julian Lynch had both front wheels as he came through that turn off the ground. He hit a rut and was bouncing all over the place himself. So was it an intentional shot, or was he just a bit out of shape? But
it's stock cars, mate. It's stock cars. So a lot of work going on in the pits at the moment with the leading team there. Guys trying to fix wiring and all sorts of issues. We know we're going to go racing with the stock cars. Here we go, we give them the green. Interesting to watch the Isaac Craig on the far side there on the 3-start, just drove straight to the wall and got out of everyone's way. Rosewarne steaming down the back straight. Absolutely just rockets through. He's taken over that third spot. At the moment it is Holtham in the lead, back to Ross with Rosewarne. Skur. The 64 car moving up high on the track. Didn't look like he was having a shot at the 43, but the 222 pulling to the infield. And it is our race leader there. He's about to come from the back of the 218 and the 67 cars. They're having a friendly little battle there.
Some good speed out of the 44 machine, holding that second spot.
Yeah, well, Yogi's no stranger to racing. He did a few seasons in a car that he and Kevin Clive built. And now he's into this Iron Force racing car. It is very, very quick. So the 317, just trying to pick a line here between Tapley and Leverage Watkins. He's managed to go through the middle, and he might just duck to the inside of the 218 car. As he looks in his mirror, sees way clear. Yeah, he's just leaving it through for his mate. Doesn't want to get caught up. And the 317 car having a great run here. Rosewarne up the inside of the 44. Just rockets through.
44 back up the inside of Rosewarne as they come out of turn 2.
Yeah, he's not scared of coming back at him. course, Yogi is the brother of Pooh Bear. I didn't get the nicknames by coincidence. Sneaky Skurs there. White flag is out for the 317. Rosewarne currently second, so he's having a great night tonight. But he's got his pack markers in front of him. He's got Yogi and Skur behind him. Oldham past him through Enviro Waste. And Rosewarne's just hoping these back markers don't get in his way. He's trying to thread the needle here. Oldham's won the race, and the 59 goes through for second with Skur for third. That rounds us out with our stock cars.
So Kieran Skur, who came in third there with a 20.05. Brad Rosewarne in second place, 20.14. Holtham, that won the race, he did a 20.38. So yeah, Kieran Skur definitely the quickest in that race with a 20.05. It's got a heap of speed, that 43 car. And as I say, good race here from Evan Ross in the 44 car as well to come home in fourth. Bit more time in the seat in that car, and he's going to be right at the pointy end.
Of course, next year we have the New Zealand title in Greymouth.
Yep.
And I would suggest we'll see a lot more Christchurch cars over in Greymouth than they did that attended the previous championship at the Mount.
And we've got the GP here.
The GP a week later, so it's going to be a full-on season for stock cars. That's where, of course, when you do the calculation, there's a sort of a standing joke around the countryside that Christchurch is like a vortex for race cars they come into and they all disappear. Well, I did the calculation one day. There was about 75 or 77 stock cars in Christchurch with about 64 drivers. So there's a few drivers that own a couple of cars, and on no race night have we ever got more than 34 Christchurch cars here at any given time.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is a lot of cars in hibernation. I'm guilty of one of them.
One in Guipoy.
Yes, one in Guipoy. As we head back to the pits for an interview with another Streetstock driver.
We're here with the Beachlands Bulldogs manager, Matt Stewart. Mate, you won that last heat. Pretty tough racing out there.
Oh, yeah, she's pretty hard today, and got all the boys here working hard to get some cars back out, but there's a bit of damage.
So you do 4 teams. What's the format for you guys, and how do you go about getting into a final?
So your first 2 races are for collecting points, and then the top 2 teams make the final. Second 2 teams make third and fourth. So we're still waiting to hear how we did, but fingers crossed.
Max points going in from that last heat anyway with taking the win. And who are you up against next?
We're not sure. We're just still waiting. So we'll either be Christchurch in the final or Invercargill, I think. So.
Well, Matt, any sponsors you want to take care of?
Yeah, no, we've got a good few sponsors. We've got Roof Restorers, Custom Signs, Concord Tavern, Dunedin City Ford, Professional Catering, and Gillies Contracting.
Well, good luck to the Beachlands Bulldogs for the rest of the night, man.
Thanks, Steffi. Appreciate it.
Oh, there you go. Apologies to any Ford fans out there.
I didn't say they weren't good cars. I just said they didn't look pretty.
Well, there you go. Something about
a Mazda 121 with
a kettle pots and something black. Anyway, the nickel off the front and the 13 car on the inside. Alan setting the pace on the outside. We're about to go green and racing we are, and it's a hell of a start as they all bunch up coming onto the start-finish line. Bunch up so much that one of them's into the wall. That's the 4 of Mike Goulet. The lights will go yellow, and we'll have a crack at doing that all over again.
Yep, that's the sort of start. That was an interesting start. It was pedestrian. The cars at the back decided to go. Of course, with open wheelers, once they decide to go, no one's backing out of it.
No.
And Mike Goulet just got fed into the wall off the back of Hayden Corbett. And
feel that car out, but it looked just a little bit wobbly as he made a start there. He's going to feel it out down the back straight, see if it's going all right. No quicker than the first time, and again they're bunching up. There's contact there before the light goes green. We're 3 wide. 2 deep, 3 wide down the front straight. Nickel gets to the front in first place, but it looks as though the 32 of White's just going to take over the lead as they come down the back straight. Naven's in the mix there as well. Philip Allen's dropping back. Sinclair's just holding off, watching these guys race in front of them. Mackay looks as though he tripped over Philip Allen there as he made his way through the field, but he's second last and Allen's at the back. It's Goulet in second place there, behind Ian White. Goulet pushing hard, literally pushing very hard into the side of the 32 GM car. We've got some more contact there between Corbett and Nickel, and I have to say that this mixing up of the slower drivers at the front has really thrown the cat among the pigeons for these guys. Normally very clean races, There's contact all over the show here. Ian White holds the lead at the moment. You get the feeling that Gourlay is quicker but can't find a way past. Naven's caught up on the back of them as well. Sinclair and Mackay racing side by side in the battle for 4th and 5th place, and you have to say that the front 5 cars are neck and neck. There's nothing between them. Corbett gets past Nickel for 6th place, and in the back of the field we've got Philip Allen. So going into turns 1 and 2, this is where the action is, at the front of the field, and they're all over the show at the moment. The 32 of White managing to hold off the 4 of Gourlay. Naven's holding on to 3rd place. Mackay's got through into 4th, but he's got the 82 of Sinclair right on his tail. Any one of these cars trips up, oh well, there we go. 32, Ian White tripped up big time, got the back of the car, got away on him. Everyone except Sinclair got round. Sinclair's just clipped his front wheels, and you can see the front of the 32 car well and truly pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah, just snapped. The front axle there just snapped on the impact. It was one of those moments for Sinclair where everything opened up, but the reason it opened up is everybody was avoiding it. It's that whole bit where you run down the tunnel, and he drove square into the front of the 32 car. I'd say he's done a bit of back-end damage. Ooh.
So if you watch on the Woodford Glen replay, you can see the 32 car going around. Everyone avoids, except for Sinclair, who comes in there now and bangs into the front of the 32 car.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the call is on that. Goulet was attached to him as they went round, but whether or not he was going and Goulet just scuffed him. Sinclair has walloped him hard, and I don't know.
I think Naven might have caught the back of the 32 car as he went round as well.
We've got a flat tyre on our race leader though, Tony.
Yeah, front flat on the 69 car of Naven. I don't know how long that wheel's going to last. Hayden Mackay in the 7 car is all over the back of him as they go through 1 and 2. A few cars back to the 22 of Corbett. Of course, the 32 and the 82 have been pulled to the infield after that previous incident. Mackay runs effortlessly up the inside of the 69 car and takes over the lead. Hayden Corbett now eyeing 2nd place. Can he get past the crippled 69 as well? A few car lengths back to the 4 of Goulet, and then Nickel and Allen at the back of the field. So here we go. Up front, it's Hayden Mackay, putting a lot of daylight between Naven, himself and Naven in turn just opening the gap a little bit on the 22. Get the feeling Corbett not quite got the race car to compete with Naven, even though Naven seems to have a flat left front tyre. So out front, Hayden Mackay ticks off another lap. That's 7 completed for him. Naven and Corbett battling for 2nd place, and it looks as though Goulet is joining that battle, and I suspect Goulet's got the quicker car. Hayden Corbett gets through into 2nd place. Naven fighting the steering on that 69 car. You can see him working extra hard behind the wheel to try and keep that car going in the right direction. And I think Mike Goulet is going to pick him off down the back straight this time round. Goulet up the inside, Naven on the outside. No, Goulet's very gentlemanly there, trying to take him through 3 and 4. White flag this time for Hayden Mackay out front. No doubt about who's going to win this race, and I think no doubt about 2nd either, with Corbett holding on to a solid 2nd place. The battle on for 3rd. Goulet side by side with Naven. Goulet gets ahead. Comes through 3 and 4. Checkered flag for Hayden Mackay. 2nd place for Hayden Corbett. 3rd place for not Hayden, Mike Goulet.
And yeah, great race there by Hayden Mackay. He just had to take a few deep breaths in that early stages of the race. Corbett showing he's got some pace in that 22.
Yeah.
Goulet's gone through, but the 69 car of Naven, I'd suggest if he didn't have that flat tyre, his result would have been a bit different. But the 69 car looks a lot more neutral tonight without the wing, which is unusual to say that.
Yeah.
But a great run there by the Arbotech machine of Hayden Mackay.
So 2 wins for Hayden Mackay should give him 16 points and the front row of the grid. And according to the ELS, both Corbett and Goulet are on 13 points. So there'll have to be a count back to work out, or a coin toss or something like that, who sits alongside Mackay on the front row of the grid for the big final tonight. So plenty of heat coming out of that 69 car.
Without being silly about it, if I was Mike Goulet, I'd be quite happy just to sit behind Hayden Mackay on that start, because at least you know that Hayden is going to go.
Yeah.
And if you stay with him, it becomes a battle of tyres and brakes. Because of course the Modifieds are using a lot more of their brakes tonight. They're not be able to turn the car in on the wing.
Of course.
And so if I was Mike Goulet, I'd be quite happy sitting in that 3rd spot. In saying that, being on the outside to start the race and controlling the pace might be a little bit more, well, might ease the tummy a little, because certainly we had a pace issue on the start of this last race.
Absolutely. So that was the Modifieds Heat 2, brought to us by Really Swift Parts. Next up, Youth Mini Stocks are out with L&J Cartage bringing us them.
So we're not past their bedtime.
Yep. So they only get 2 races on the program, but we know they love it. This is the future of our sport, Youth Mini Stocks, and it's great to see them here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen. Green flags waving in the air, and the 18 car of Finch gets the jump on the 97 of McSweeney and makes it first into turn 1. McSweeney's holding on to second place there, getting a bit of a tap on the back as he goes through, and a big bunch of cars going past the grandstand right now in the middle of the pack. Not a lot of room, spare room in there. Some contact on the back of some bumpers. One car gets washed out towards the wall. I think that's the which car is that?
It's the 11, is it?
Was it the 11? I was going to say 71, but it's the 11 of Jordan Lee Paratini. Yeah, it was. Yep. And he's right at the back of the field now. Unfortunate for him, the victim of all that bunting going on in the middle of the pack. Anyway, about to complete his second lap is Cody Finch in that 18 car from Dunedin, followed by the 18 Christchurch car of Cameron Sidaway. God, you really do need an 18 on your car in this grade, don't you? And it just about guarantees you being near the front of the field. Letton in the 151 car is in third place. Then we go back to McSweeney and Meyer Bishop in the 89. So another lap ticked off for Cody Finch. Cameron Sidaway keeping him honest, about 2 or 3 car lengths back. Then quite a gap back to Letton, who's having a great battle there with McSweeney in the 97 car. So as they come out of Envirowaste turn, high up against the wall, pretty much everyone taking that wide, high line. Cars well strung out on the track at the moment. The 97 of McSweeney just ahead of the 151 of Letton. Riley Letton in the 151. Meyer Bishop's there in the 89, Brown in the 47 car, and 55 of Anderson. So 5 laps down, 6 about to be completed, 6 completed now as they go through turns 1 and 2, down the back straight now, the lead cars. Not much between Sidaway and Finch. Get the feeling Sidaway's possibly just a little bit quicker, but he's got to get round Finch, and Finch has got great lines on this track, keeps the car very much in the middle of the track, drifts out wide through the turns, makes it hard for Sidaway to get a good line on him to try and make a pass. They're coming up on the back markers now. At the back of the field there, the 58 of Neil, that's Malachi Neil from Dunedin, and I think he's going to be the first to be lapped. So as they go through on Neil, there's also the 11 car there. That's the other Finch, isn't it?
White flag for those guys
Ashley
too.
Finch. So white flag, last lap. Thanks, Ivan. And out front, there's no doubt about it. It's the 18D of Cody Finch. And a big roll over there. Is that 2 cars involved in that? No, just the one, I think. Big rollover in turn 4. Only caught the end of that. I was watching the lead cars, which we've gone across the start-finish line. So that's the 2 18s. Finch and Sidaway have finished the race, but we've gone red. Not sure who that was.
31.
Oh, it's the 31 car. Thank you. We've got the benefit of the Woodford Glen TV replay from the Pits TV. That's Zoe Knox.
Something to tell his classmates at school on Monday.
Yeah, she takes the knocks. And we come to the Woodford Glen replay, I think. So here's your replay. You're just going to see the last bit of it. There's the car, digs in and goes over onto its side. A little bit of flame as the spent fuel goes through the exhaust system, and you get the car back over on its tyres. A little bit of smoke coming out the back of the car there. The crew will sort that out. Steam, I think, from the probably broken radiator hose. So commiserations to Zoe Knox. Bit of work to do in the workshop this week, I think.
So if we have the wing's not bent.
The wing's not bent.
No.
Well, that saves you 5 minutes.
So it looks like she's moving around in the car. She's just getting out now. That's the story. Give her a round of applause.
Big clap for Zoe Knox there. One of the more spectacular incidents tonight here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen.
And Jesse Helm on the front row of the grid with the 15 car of Matt Watson, and Hearn, Richards and Soper on the second row. That 76 car, watch how quick it goes off the start though.
This will be wild because no one wants to be last.
This is true, so true. And nothing to lose out of this one other than a little bit of dignity. And Rahoon's up the inside of Helm. He gives him the wallop on the way through. The 15 car gets washed out wide. The 417's been spun around at 2. And Richards has got through. We race it out for the first lap. And Helm has a crack at Soper, puts him around in front of his teammates. They peel every side they get in. Musgrove gets into the side of the 21 car. The 62 is going to have a crack here at the 9. The 47's just tubed the 19 on the far side of the track. Our race there. The 19's gone round, taking a lot of infield with him too, as the 62 gets a crack at the 9 car. Out in front, it is Daryl Richards. Back to the 15 of Watson. Soper rejoins. And the 21 of Helm has a crack at the 73. Oh, sorry, 73 of Shannon Marr. Backed him in the wall. And Richards. Helm's getting a bit of treatment here from the 9 car of Musgrove. Puts him in the wall. He got on the brakes. And the 2 big white Falcons circulating side by side. If they want to do anything about it, they have to take on the 76 car. One would suggest with the pace, the amount of speed that he has, it's only going to be a couple of laps before he's right on this. He's going to have to make the choice to either go or deal with the 15 car.
He's got one of his teammates behind him though.
Is it his mate? No,
no, it's not.
It's not. He has to make the choice to go. And he is getting into a bit of a Nelson trap there. Helm is slowing the 9 and 19 up, which is not necessarily helping Hearn's case. Helm gets on the brakes. The 62D car, the panel van gets around. 73 is limping. Here we go. Hearn has got to deal with the 19 car. Gives the 62 car a wallop. And they use a few. Oh, Hearn's pushing into this. He plows through. He backed himself and he's got through the gap. And the 15 car realises it. He's in hot pursuit. Helm was into the side of the 19. Musgrove across the start-finish line. We're getting a bit disjointed. So Richards in the 76, race leader. The 19 car has stopped on the he hasn't stopped on the track, but he's definitely broken and limping. Skur is the next car in front of Richards. Matt Watson running second. Skur, has he realised who's behind him? As the 62D car is up by the wall. The back end of the 19 car is a little bit shorter. He's taken a massive hit in the back end.
Still running though.
Yep.
Richard seems to have backed off a little bit there. He's trying to create space around him, isn't he?
He is. And the 19 car pull into the infield. So he is. He's aware there's a Nelson car in front of him. And they're not aware of where he is. Watson is doing what he can, but he hasn't got the pace. So maybe Skur just a little out of shape here.
I think Skur's slowing a little bit just to try and get to Richards on the back of him.
White flag is in the starter's hands, so we're just waiting for that to be waved. It is. It's about to go out for the 76 car. And I think Skur might have seen that in the mirror. He slowed. Watson is the one that can do something about this though. Here we go, the 15 car knows he's got to run here. His blocker is doing what he can. He has to do literally the kamikaze here if he's going to do anything. But I think Hearn's going to get it. A little bit of spark out of the 76, and he has driven this one to perfection. And Richards will take away the race win. One would suggest that'll be enough points because Cathro is running third on the track. He's got to get home, mind you. He's smoking like a chimney.
Don't think it's about points for the finals, is it? First across the line.
First across the line, but it has definitely gone to Richards, who's been at the pointy end all night. The 9 car of Musgrove is practicing his steering lock.
So Hearn Richards, who does actually have a first name, Daryl, takes the win for the Beachlands Bulldogs. So well done to the team from Dunedin coming through. He was he judged that race pretty well, didn't he? Inherited the lead on the first lap and never relinquished it.
Yeah, great driver. Of course, I think it was former New Zealand GP winner.
Yep, South Island title holder too, I believe.
Yeah, very quick car, experienced driver, but yeah, probably not the race they wanted to compete in. I think it's the next street stock race they would prefer, the Bulldogs would have preferred to have been in. Sam Cathro there in the 47 car, is it? He's had a huge work rate for his team tonight. Maybe not necessarily the most spectacular driver, but he's certainly put himself in positions to try and get the win.
So there goes your race winner with the manager on the back with the checkered flag, and that's I don't know how many mobile cars they've got, but there's 2 of them going round anyway, the Beachlands Bulldogs.
Okay, we are here with the Beachlands Bulldogs manager Matt Stewart, 3rd place here at State of Origin at Woodford Glen Speedway. You must be pretty pumped with that.
Yeah, the boys are pretty stoked. We had some unlucky calls that didn't go our way, which caused us not to win the final, but I think the boys proved a point that time and going home with 3rd place, which is cool.
It's got to be pretty hard out there. Like, these boys have battled it out, best of 4 teams. It's come away with 3rd. You see the state of some of these cars, so the boys have got to be pretty happy. We see a couple of cars being pushed in there. How is the team feeling now?
Oh, the team is stoked. We've got a good grade. So all 30 drivers for Dunedin are here tonight. They're all helping the boys out, all the Wise families. It's massive. So it's a new team, so one guy did it before, so these guys are well deserved and they're pumped. So.
Okay, well, congratulations on 3rd place, Matt, and party on.
Awesome, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Pushcast to the infield, Rob on the front row leads us away. Paul Archibald gets a good jump to the outside. We go 4 wide. Finch is looking to push his way through there. He does. And Caleb West is looking to come back. It is 3 wide as we enter the back straight with Finch sitting in there. We're going to space it. We're going to have 3 wide into EnviroWaste. Archibald on the outside. It is. Now we go 4 wide onto the front straight. How many wide can we make it? We've got a pile up at the back of the pack that looks like they're trying to do some teams blocking, but it is Shy Rob Finch with Paul Archibald on the outside looking to join back in. It is Caleb West as we head down the back straight. Finch straight up the inside, rockets down into EnviroWaste. That car has got a massive turn of speed. Caleb West having a coming back at him. Shy Rob there in the 181, the 23 there. The 18 of Bellis joins in. Of course the 18 car joins in. Well, of course it does, doesn't it, Tony? Of course, yes. We've got 1 at the front. We need to get 2 at the front as the numbers would normally allow. It is a Finch down into EnviroWaste. West has a better run into the corner, but can he carry the speed off? He's tucked up underneath him. He's certainly... Finch trying to move back down across on the 34 car. Paul Archibald back to Shy Rob and Sarah Bellis bright there in the 17. And this 18D car is very, very quick. Doesn't matter what grade it's in, whether it's dad driving it in adults or we've got a one of the sons driving it, or the son driving it in the youth.
Archibald bouncing off the wall coming out of turn 4 there.
Then we go back to West, the Onyx Homes car, and Archibald's coming back at him. He's just popped up the inside, going to go in hot, and West is going to duck to that inside. Had to let him go, couldn't really hang out to dry out beside him. Go back to Bellis in the 18. I didn't even need to repeat the number really, did I, Tony? It is Finch, Archibald, West, Bellis, further back to Rob and Bright. So the pointing to the field hasn't really changed between these 4 cars. They've all been uber quick tonight, but that Finch machine just seems to have the measure on the rest of them.
Archibald just throwing that car around though, not really caring whether he makes the turns or not. He's just going for maximum speed. Or Sarah Bellis gets turned. tangling up with the 34 of West, going right to the back of the field.
And she's stalled on the track. I know she's back and going. It is a battle on here. White flag is out. Paul Archibald's determined to do what he can here. He is going to go out wide. You'll watch him. He'll dive back down low and try and carry the run off too. He's right up behind. He's going to have to carry the speed out. Finch will move over on him a little bit. Try and squeeze him out to the wall. It's going to be who's bravest under brakes. Battle for third is between West and Rob. It is going to be Finch for the checkered. Back to Archibald with, well, I was going to say West, but Rob might come and pip him on the line. We looked to the LS to see who's got the... No, it is West who's taken it by 0.03 of a second.
Wow. Close finish for third there, and a really good finish for first and second too, with Finch managing to hold out Archibald despite Archibald's efforts to really throw that car around and try and get the race win.
Okay, so we're here with the manager for the Nelson Knights here, 4th place, hard-fought battle out there against the Beachlands Bulldogs, eh?
Yeah, mate, yeah. No, we tried, but we just beat a team for the night. They just outdid us.
You can see the state of this car here for the young fella's first time at State of Origin, and he's come away with a pretty decent hit. How are you and the team feeling with that fourth place? You can't really cry at the effort that the team put in.
Absolutely not. But you always feel that you could have done better, and it would have been nice to have a higher placing. But hey, the boys fought for everything they got tonight. They did damn well.
And you can see that, eh? Anything you want to say to the team or the sponsors?
Well done, Casey. Richmond Exhaust and Radiators. Thanks, guys. Rob Skirk, KC, Feischer Forklifts, Neville, Goffs, Matt Watson. Just you guys smoked it. Shannon Marr. Awesome effort, guys. Awesome. Well done.
So there we go. That is the Nelson team here at State of Origin at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen Speedway. These guys are pumped. The final was up now. The Riverside Raiders versus the Canterbury Cobras. Stay tuned to the Pits TV because stuff is about to get real.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Narthite from Suck It Up Limited. If you're in the Canterbury area and need any hydro excavation, water blasting, vacuum loading, any septic tank cleaning or CCTV of your pipelines, please give me a call or contact us on our Facebook page.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
Oh yeah, and it gets real up in the commentary box too, I tell you, Jerry.
It certainly does.
The live I'm sitting behind us, it couldn't be realer.
Very intimidating stature, isn't he?
Ooh, goodness me. Club president and God.
So was Napoleon though.
When he's angry, yeah.
When he's angry, just sends Kinnear over to tell us off.
So who we got out there? Let's run through these teams out on the track at the moment. We're assuming everyone... Oh, well, actually, we're probably missing one driver for the Riverside Raiders, but we're assuming all the Cobras will be out there.
Yes, we're just watching the replay, courtesy of the Pits TV. And really interesting to see if some of these mini-stock drivers aren't going to be yelling and screaming at each other up the top here shortly with the referees. Certainly Bellis got sideways and Weston back out, so one would suggest the referees might have a little chat. Just a little one. We're not racing for the ranch though. No. That's what the Streetstock drivers are about to do though.
Absolutely. Pride on the line here. And we've had a bell called there, 3-minute bell, 27, Paul Leslie, tucked in by the pit gate. His pit crew will come dashing out, bring out all manner of tools and things. Well, actually, they're just using their hands by the look of it, but that's probably the best tool there is.
And of course, the Streetstock's going the normal way. The arms are waving. We know how this ends if you take too much time.
Yep, he's doing the teapot as well. You see that? Hands on the hips. I'm not happy. Drive of the course.
AJ Lapsley joins in the front row. Then we go back to the 81 of Hamish McGregor beside him. Matt Peterson on the 433. 92 of Rob McSherry to the outside of him. The 84 of Tony Lardbrook's car. Not 100%. Then we go back to 85 of Jesse Stevens Hamilton to the outside of him to the 29 of Jones. Can't quite see who's on the inside, but I can tell you Sean Andrew leads us out, and squeeze between him and Jones is Chris Kurgazoo. We're in the starter's hands. I think this is going to get ugly, Tony. We're away and racing as the 84 car straight across the track. Straight the 85 car follows the 92 into the infield and still pushing him through the infield. And he looks to see where he rejoins. It needs to be back out in the front as the 61 is right on the back of the 84 car. He's going to push him down into Lapsley, and he puts him around. Out in front it is Leslie, Peterson, Jones by the looks of it. The 92 car has got back out, and he'll be doing some block work. So the first car that they come to will be the 85 of Stevens Hamilton, and red light is on.
One car stuck in the beginning of turn 4 there, and one in the wall at the exit of turn 4.
So
Not sure which.
Lapsley's fired in the wall there with the front bumper twisted up, and the 84 car's facing the wrong way. And I'm thinking there's no steering in Lapsley's car.
I'm thinking you're probably right.
It's been fed in there. So we look to get through. We'll push the 84 car out of the way. So that is Tony Lardbrook. And wait to see if he's going. So we've obviously gone down there for a reason.
So the tractor's been called and moving onto the track. They're going to move one of those cars. Not sure which one it is.
So McSherry there had a good crack. No, actually no, to be fair, it was Lapsley had a steering failure. He's driven himself straight in courtesy of the Pits TV Woodford Glen replay. And he's fed himself straight in, so he's had a steering failure, which is kind of awkward when you've got 4 corners and 2 straights. People underestimate the ability of actually getting out of a corner.
Yeah. How many drivers think you can just follow the wall around? It doesn't work that way, does it?
No, I do know of a superstock driver that was dared to go into turn 3 with his foot hard up it and leave it up. When he slammed himself into turn 4, he decided it was a bad idea to do it twice.
So there you go.
I'm not entirely sure why we're trying to push a car that has no steering.
So both cars are going to be removed from the track. So that's a big dent for the Riverside Raiders. Lose 2 cars in the space of the first lap.
It just highlights how hard it has been on the cars tonight. I mean, this is not the normal type of racing you expect from a street stock, and fundamentally they are still road-going cars, or were road-going cars at some point in their life.
Yeah.
No matter how illegal you try and make them, there's still a steel-bodied car with bumpers. And just looking at that front bumper of Lapsley's, it's bent right round into the wheel. So not an ideal first lap for the Invercargill team.
So AJ Lapsley's car gets sent to the infield along with the 84.
And our race leader, we've gone green. We were all half asleep on that one. Paul Leslie's our race leader as the 85 car's getting some treatment there from Rob McSherry. Pushes him to the infield. He's got the 2 wheels on the grass, but he's pushed him way back out. And the 81 car there of McGregor trying to hang with Jones, Peterson and Leslie. And Jones just slows it right up. But looking in your rear view mirror, you got, it looks like a steaming Tom McSherry coming through. And Christchurch cars all very cautious as they come through. And maybe not as much as what McSherry is. McGregor will have looked in the mirror. He might be a Christchurch car normally, but he is very aware that he is wearing the wrong colours for this race. And I'd say McSherry is going to square him up when he gets the chance. So Leslie, Peterson, Sean Andrew, here we go. McGregor's about to get the big hurry up. And Sean Andrews slowed up for this. And it looks like it's maybe not the option that was ideal for him. It's 29 car's gone in with the 86 down at 3 and 4. And McGregor puts it in sideways. Tom McSherry just hanging with him, just chasing that tail. Got him. Gave him a swat. Gets him out of shape. Crosses up. And Sean Andrews slowed right up. So he is, I think he's here to play. Party at Sean's house.
92 goes round there trying to spin one of the Invercargill cars.
Yeah, well, Paul Leslie just runs the risk of exposing himself a little bit here. He needs to back out, but Sean Andrew is prepared to create some chaos. And he will... Then Matt Peterson nowhere to go, but straight into the back of Sean Andrew as he spun round. There was definitely some chaos.
Sean Andrew doing so well to take out 2 Riverside Raiders in the one move.
Yeah, but it's learn the pace of Paul Leslie. He gives the Riverside car down. It's the 86 of Kyrgyzstan. Oh, good grief. Backing out of an incident, and cars coming through aren't looking in front of them. And it looks like the 27 car has slapped the wall hard. Matt Peterson's taken over the lead and saying that Christchurch are running 1, 2, 3, 4. So as much as we watch the lead cars of Peterson and Leslie, they've got some insurance policies going on. And Kyrgyzstan, he's got a choice here. He's going to have to try and slow the race leader, but then he has got Tom McSherry. He's going to back himself on Tom. And Matt Peterson chasing him down into Enviro Waste. Mike Jones sitting down there low on the track. Matt Peterson climbs into the back of the 86 car. Really needs one of the teammates to come through and have a swat. And it looks like they've hooked up. And not ideal for he was the lead car on the track. Steam coming off the 433.
Peterson's got away though.
And the 92 car, 27 just limping around. We're going over the wall down at Enviro Waste. And Matt Peterson just looking at the ELS, just 10 laps down on lap 11. A white flag is out for Peterson. Paul Leslie's running second on the track. We've got one Raider car, the 85 of Stevens Hamilton pulling to the infield. And it looks like this is going to be, albeit we've got a couple limping, a fairly convincing one to the Cobras. The checkered flag goes out for the 433 car, and that is the State of Origin. The last car going for the Raiders is the 86 of Kyrgyzstan. But Christchurch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Kyrgyzstan finishing in 5th place. Matt Peterson, the only car to finish on the 12th lap. Leslie and Tom McSherry were 1 lap down. Jones and Kyrgyzstan a further lap down from them. So there's your winners of the Kiwi Auto Spares Streetstock State of Origin. It's the Canterbury Cobras. Give them a good round of applause as they go round with the checkered flag. They certainly earned it. They've raced hard, they've raced smart, and they are the winners tonight here at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway.
And yeah, well, we get through another year of State of Origin. We'll be interested to see how Invercargill and Dunedin return next season. Just looking at the front end of Paul Leslie's car, it's a good thing they checked for wheel clearance on that right front tyre.
Yeah.
And Matt Peterson's going to jump on the back of Tom McSherry's car. And he's certainly pleased with the race result there. Give them a hand, race fans. They did a stellar job, convincing ones right the way through. Really, this is the first race where they've had a car that, well, whilst it finished, it is sitting there as a steaming pile by the pit gate.
And that was really only due to an incident caused by one of his own teammates taking out 2 of the opposition at the same time. So, in a way, it was kind of worth it, wasn't it?
Okay, so we're here with the 86i Riverside Raider, Chris Kugazoo, the lone Riverside car going after that final, and second place for the Riverside Raiders. You got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, no, we're happy. We're happy. It was sort of a last minute get together with guys. A lot of people weren't keen, but we got here, all 6 of us. We enjoyed it. Yeah.
Even though it was a bit of a throw together team and no one was interested, you still came together quite well as a team and gelled out there as it was, minus a driver, but it was still the Riverside Raiders night, second place. It can't be sneezed at, Chris.
Yeah, no, we're pretty happy. We've got a couple of new drivers this year. They weren't too keen, but they put their hand up, and we were at the second. No.
Any sponsors you want to thank, man? Anyone that you want to thank to get you here? It's a pretty mammoth effort all the way from Riverside, isn't it?
Yeah, just all the crew really, just getting the cars back on track. I want to thank Creativity Plus for the stickers. I want to thank Richard Race for the stickers as well, and Riverside Speedway really. We've sort of put the cars together, painted them all, tried to look a bit like the team's event, and hopefully we'll get a few more sponsors next year and be stronger, be better, yeah.
There you go, guys. If you want to sponsor a good team, second at the State of Origin here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen Speedway, the Riverside Raiders are the team to back. Second place here. Congratulations, guys, and hey, it's always one better next year, but for now, go and celebrate that second spot because it's definitely not one to be choked on.
Cheers. We'll be celebrating, I'm sure.
So here we go. Lights are still flashing. I was about to say lights are out. Lights are still flashing. So we're going to do another lap.
No, the lights are on, but still no one's home, Tony.
Yeah, that's right. Always the case in the commentary box, eh?
Hey, we're a bunch of very average amateurs. Hang on a second, I'm reading a review about us.
Okay, so Zippy points to the sky, says, yeah, thank you very much. That's going to be the race start next time round.
Just looking at that 82 car, how much damage is on that right-hand side from that impact with Ian White. Of course, Ian White not out in this race, courtesy of its front-end damage.
Yeah, we know. Okay, good point. So the one car missing off the back row there. So let's see how this unfolds. Not sure how many laps it's going to be, but they're all going to be entertaining, I'm sure, as Mackay and Goulet on the outside, setting the pace. Pretty pedestrian, pretty slow, coming into EnviroWaste. We're green, we're racing. Goulet hits it, lifts the nose, cuts right across Mackay. Naven comes up the outside. It's a three-way sandwich into 1 and 2, and Goulet gets it. It's side by side for second place. Hayden Mackay just a little bit quicker than Naven, but Naven's really signalled his intentions here. He's absolutely onto it. Hayden Corbett in the 22 car just holding station there. Whoa, just about tips the car end over end as he comes down the front straight. That's one for the highlights reel. But out front it's the 4 of Mike Goulet, who's got about a car length over the Hayden Mackay and the 7. We go back another car length to the 69 of Andrew Naven, another car length to the 22 of Hayden Mackay. Front wheels off the track just about all over the field as they go down the front straight, and it's Mackay right on the back of Goulet. Mackay looking for a way past. Goulet, he's a sneaky fox though, he's not going to let a gap open up easily. Keeps it down low, drifts out onto the straight, lifts the front wheels, gets a little correction sideways, tucks it in onto turn 1 and 2. Mackay's got a bit more pace, but I don't think he's got the drive out of 2 to do much about it. Naven and Corbett having a good battle for third place, and they're dropping back a little off these guys. Sinclair further back in the field, and right at the back, Nickel battling with Allen. So all eyes on the front here. Mackay goes to the outside. Can he get away past? He's going to have to drive around the outside of Goulet, I think. And I don't think there's quite the grip there through 3 and 4 to let that happen. Goulet just a little bit quicker in the middle part of the track coming onto the front straight. This is where Mackay's a bit faster through 1 and 2. You see, he catches up there, gets his front wheels alongside Goulet, and then he's alongside him as they go through 3 into 4. But this is where Goulet's quick, and he just pulls away down the front straight. Interesting battle here between these two. Further back, Corbett and Naven having a good battle. Corbett's got through and has the third place at the moment. Sinclair trying to join this battle for third as well, but he's a few car lengths down. Still side by side out the front of the field. 7 Mackay running the outside line, 4 Goulet running the inside. Nothing between them. Mackay trying to get alongside. He gets just about on the back of Goulet's car there, but Goulet just a bit quicker out of the turn. You get the feeling that Hayden Mackay's got to pull something special out if he's going to get past Goulet here. I don't think regular laps are going to do it for Mackay. I don't think he's got what the car he needs to make this work He's going to have to do something special. So that's down the back straight now. That's 8 laps completed for Goulet. He's keeping it tight. The track's starting to go off a little bit now. Goulet keeping it tighter through the turns. The lap times are dropping a little bit now. Goulet seems to have the measure of Hayden Mackay. Mackay just struggling out of 2 and struggling out of 4 to get the power down. I think Mackay's either got to go really high on the track or he's got to start cutting back on Goulet, but Goulet's just too far ahead. Maybe lap traffic will come into play as Philip Allen in the 88 car at the back of the field is now less than half the length of the straight ahead of Mike Goulet. But that's 10 laps completed for Goulet. He's still got Mackay buzzing in his back like an angry bee. And Mackay trying to run the outside line. He's got a better run here, got a bit more power down through 4, and that's enabled him to carry it down the 1 and 2 and down the back straight, but he still can't get ahead of that black 4 car of Mike Goulet. They're coming onto the back of Philip Allen now, and their line here will be to determine what goes on. Mackay goes in very heavy and very deep to 1, almost bounces over, but he's got the line on the outside. They've got to squeeze past Allen, and Mackay muscles his way through and takes over the lead of the race. Can he hang on? Goulet's got delayed behind Philip Allen there, and that's cost Goulet. And I think from here, Mackay won't make a mistake. He'll keep it tight, and he'll play the role that Goulet was playing in those earlier laps, keeping it down low, keeping it tight, making it hard for Goulet to pass. Yeah, I get the feeling Goulet's just throwing in the towel now. Just doesn't have the attitude in that car. Mackay bumps it into 1 and 2 for the final time. We're on the white flag lap. 3rd place, Hayden Corbett trying to get past the 88 of Philip Allen. Zooms past him down the back straight. Nickel crosses in the start-finish, but the race winner is the 7 car of Hayden Mackay. 2nd, the 4 of Mike Goulet, and 3rd, the 22 of Hayden Corbett.
It was a great race right there by Mackay. He picked it, same thing he did the other week, used a back marker against Goulet. Goulet just doesn't seem to be picking where the back markers are going in the last couple of meetings. No. And Mackay just used Philip Allen to advantage. Interesting to look at the lap times. If I'm to believe the ELS, fastest lap was actually done by Evan Nickel.
17.37.
Then Hayden Corbett in the 22 car, Hayden Mackay, and then Mike Gurley in 4th as far as lap times go, but obviously the end result is that Hayden Mackay taking away the modified Wingless Madness trophy this year. Mike Gurley, I think, picked it last year, so yes, it's sort of interchangeable a little bit. And but Mike on the start there, he dove across the track. I mean, I was going to say kamikaze. If Hayden hadn't backed out, it was going to turn really ugly in that first lap. I think Mike felt he needed to win it in that first lap to get ahead of Hayden, but he just Mackay, just picking it in those last few laps and did it beautifully using a back marker to his advantage.
Absolutely, it's a great racecraft by Hayden Mackay. He's had a good season, won a lot of races here at Ampro Tools. Woodford Glen did super well up in Auckland in the New Zealand title. Given that he had some mechanical issues with the car, which otherwise has been 100% reliable here at Woodford Glen this season, so it just chose the wrong weekend to throw a few mechanical gremlins.
Oh, if it's going to break, it's going to be on the most expensive meeting of the year when you've got to travel the furthest distance.
Oh, of course, that's racing, isn't it?
Okay, so we're here with Dave McSherry. He is the manager for the Christchurch Cobras. Mate, 1st place at the State of Origin here at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway. What a job.
Hey, that was very good, actually. I think it's been 5 years since Christchurch they had it, so yeah, we're wrapped.
5 years, and you just seen the difference in tactics out there. I mean, Riverside, they were kind of all over the place. Christchurch, they really just stuck together. They'd done what they needed to do, and obviously the best team on the night won.
Yeah, the key we talked about in the trailer before was don't do any big hits. We didn't need to do any big hits. We got quick cars. Don't destroy your car. Don't hit back markers. You're wasting your time. Just protect the leader, and yeah.
So what do you mean by a legal hit or hit, not dumb hits? What do you mean by that?
Well, we were stressed earlier on that if there was a diff shot, a straight line into the wall, or reverse flicks, your whole team you're out. You get nothing. You go home. So we made sure the boys didn't do any of that. Don't waste it on a dumb shot.
Okay, so we were talking about shots before, and what you meant by a stupid shot. Don't go out there, don't do any dumb shots. And what did you mean by that, Dave?
Well, we were warned earlier on by the ref diff shots, like big diff shots, so you destroy a diff, and someone up and push them into the wall, follow them in, destroy their car, or if you reverse flick cars, your team would be out.
So not individually, but your whole team?
Your whole team gone. So I made stress to them earlier on in that final race. It's going to be tough, but don't get wound up in the moment and do a stupid shot. We don't need to.
That's right, and the team just flew together, didn't they? They done the flying V. They all stuck together throughout that whole team's race. As a manager, you must be pretty proud of your Cobras.
Oh, right, yeah, we had a bit of a plan, and we stuck to it, and I think it worked. It's worked, yeah, rap for the boys.
Well, what an absolutely outstanding good-looking team that you got there, all in the same colours. Any sponsors or anyone you want to thank for getting you here, Dave? What a great-looking team.
Yeah, for this weekend we had Trenchless Services, North Canterbury Engine Reconditioners and Transform Panel and Paint. Yeah, they made it for us for this weekend. They supplied us paint and a few lagers later and some tools, and yeah, without them, you know, it would be a lot harder.
That's exactly right, and sponsors are what's it. So thanks for your time, Dave. Congratulations to you and the Canterbury Cobras on your first spot here at State of Origin 2019. Epic, eh? What epic racing. Okay guys, so stay tuned to the Pits TV because we do have round about 25 cars out there for a derby, and we are going to hang around and film that. We're going to go over, we're going to talk to the modified guys that have been doing the business out there tonight as well. So stay tuned, still plenty of action coming up, derby out there, and it is a ramp derby, so make sure you stay tuned to watch that, and we'll head over to the modifieds. They did run wingless tonight, so we will be back very, very shortly. Stay tuned to the Pits TV because you are what we are here for.
I'll read through the list of drivers we've got. Not necessarily comprehensive, there may be a few we don't have on the list. Number 1 is Levi Livingstone. Number 5, Tahuna Wilson. The 11 car is Vinnie Wiramu. 12, Daniel Hardy. 13, Reese White. The 19 car, Matt Quinn. 23 is Lara Gray. 24, Chris Elkington. 26, Jacob Pickles. 27, Sam Kay. 35 car is Bo Blanken. 42, Ben Jacobs. 51, Keegan Sullivan. 52, Matt Goddard. 56, Kelly White. The 61 of Rose Luscombe and the 64 of Earl Luscombe. 69 is Sean Chesmar. 72, Dylan Anderson. 76, Matthew Maddock. The 88 car is Rob Gray. The 95 is Alex Rondell. And the 96 is Jamie Mumble Finlay. And did I see one of those cars out there as a Jaguar?
Wolseley.
Oh, Wolseley. Oh, okay.
Although I am still looking for the ramp that Stiffy promised us out there.
Yeah. We're here with the promoter of Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen Speedway. It is Steve Lennon. And Steve, what an outstanding show that Woodford Glen has put on here tonight, again, for the State of Origin for street stocks.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. The street stock class is always that class that's sort of a little bit underrated because they, you know, the old derby cars as they'd like to call them, but those guys, they really go out there, put on a good show, put their cars on the line, and just awesome. The crowd loved it. You know, you could hear them cheering all night. It was awesome to watch.
All right, well, we're going to go live for the derby now, Steve, so cheers for your intake anyway, and catch up later on.
Awesome, cheers, thank you.
And derby is well and truly underway.
That 19 car, that's a Jag.
Oh, you are, it is too. It is the Matt Quinn. Yes, it is a very tidy Jag to start the derby off. Just in front of us, the 95 of Rondell. He's got the 41 car of Ben Jacobs behind him, so one stock car driver, one ex-stock car driver. And about to join him is I had a sneaking suspicion there's actually two 19s out there. Either that or I'm getting
I think it might be. 64 car has done all of about 10 metres.
Well, it's all in the preparation really, isn't it? The 01 car going through there. Of course, if you want to be part of the Ramp Race Derby, the very final one, go to Facebook, look up Kiwi Auto Spares, and they have got currently a road legal Nissan Maxima that they are going to be putting up for auction as the one of our sheriffs comes out. He's just going to push the 64 car of Earl Luscombe to the infield. Earl's done a few derbies here and just about dug in as Rondell gets into the 56 car of Kelly White, the big old Wolseley. There's probably about 3 Japanese cars tied up in that one bit of Wolseley.
Oh, into the wall there in turn 1.
And there's a Jag there getting a little bit of treatment down at EnviroWaste. This just must warm the cockles of your heart there, Tony, that there's something big and European on the track.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, long may it continue. And he's got some speed up now, and he's going to go to the back of the 41. Oof.
Glance the 41, barely left a mark on the Jag.
You have to say that's a heavy car to be pushing around Woodford Glen. You can see it crabbing towards the corners there, and he's having a little bit of difficulty getting it up to pace. It's an impressive machine, though.
It'll be a lot of fun for the ramp race if it survives. Of course, a few of these cars will live again. You'll find that a lot of the faults that these cars have to stop them are fairly insignificant. A few of them are, oh no, except for Rondell's car here. The back end's gone completely loose on that left-hand side. That won't be significant, that'll be stuffed. But he'll keep going for the next lap or two. Of course, drivers aren't allowed to hit in the driver's doors. So 19 on 19, that just makes it more confusing for us. Matt Quinn on Matt Quinn. I don't think it's quite how it works somehow. There's the 23 car right in front of us, just limping back out. Lara Gray having a few handling issues as the 88 comes through. The 2 goes through, no contact. So I was under the understanding that anything you passed you must make contact with. But maybe
in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, yeah. So the Wolseley there sitting there just steaming away on the front straight. 24 car coming through here. And the Jag getting into Rondell down the front here. And the 19 car getting into the 19. That's just not helping, is it?
It's
Tony?
not, no.
It's not helping.
It's not helping.
There's Jag still looking pretty straight.
It is.
Give it time.
But dare I say it's a bit slow. It takes a while to get wound up, and once it gets stopped, it's a long time before it's back up to race pace again.
Yeah, the biggest problem is I think it's just overpowered for the greasy track, so its tyres are just wheel spinning as soon as he gets on the gas. And it is a very long car when it gets sideways, so it does expose himself to being taken quite. So they send one of the sheriffs out. The 01 car, Mazda 121. You'd be pretty brave to raid derby one of those, I think, Tony.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, not a lot of metal around you.
Well, the 24 car of Chris Elkington having a little look at the 01 of Levi Livingston. Bonnet's off. And I don't think that's going to make too much difference to the performance. It's gliding. Almost like an ice skater, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is.
And we've sent the sheriff out. He's found what he wanted. He just didn't. So someone's gone to the Matanatai School of sheriffing demolition derbies.
So the Jaguar's still going. He's getting turned around there by the 24 car.
And it's the 2 car that's been put in. It's got 2 sheriffs that have given him a bit of treatment. Best being pushed back in by the 21 of Dan Cross. 25 right on the back of 11. Looks like our 01 car is going to get a bit of treatment into turn 1. He's going in backwards and ricochets off the fence. I think our sheriffs were looking to have a bit of a play. And just wondering if the sheriff... Here we go, he's going to have a crack at the sheriff going up the inside of him. He is.
On the infield, nonetheless.
Not necessarily the smartest thing to do. Anyway, they're still racing on the track. And just Ben Jacobs there just going to wallop up the 01 car being drilled there as Chris Wholey down the other end in the 53 stock car just looking to do a bit of sweeping to clear the track.
01 safely on the infield now, I think.
After being pushed into the path of a whole bunch of oncoming cars.
Yeah.
A bit of smoke coming out of one on the back straight. We are sensing we're going to end up bunching these cars up shortly.
The 26 car still moving along quite swiftly there without much damage.
Yeah, Jacob Pickles heading around. The 19, the Jag, the exhaust falling off the back of it. That's probably about the weight of a Mazda 121. Smoke billowing out of the 23 car down the front straight here. And the 19 that's just gone past, that back end's had a fairly good wallop. It's just wrapped around the driver's seat.
24 car going well as well. So 24 and 26 seem to be the two cars that are really in the box seat at the moment. Of course, we don't know who's winning because we don't have access to the lap scoring at the moment. Jaguar is still going well, but I think he's a few laps down.
And Rondell just pushing the 24 car into the infield, glanced the front of the two stationary cars over there. 88's
looking pretty solid there as well. So there's a few cars still in reasonable nick. They've preserved their front bumper, front radiator. A few sparks coming off that car there, whose number has now disappeared into the
95.
blackness of the night.
And a little bit of a 51 car there getting some treatment from his teammate in colours, the 52. A bit of a bunch coming up for... See if we can push people into parked cars. Not that you meant to. As the 88 goes into the 19s, flicks it around, just a very gentle flick. The problem is to win a derby you still need to have half a car, but the tap and spin isn't going to be enough to stop or immobilise some of these cars, Tony.
No, that's right. So I think the sheriffs are getting ready to move on to the track.
Well, I almost wonder if they've got someone in mind. Of course, the sheriffs are running earpieces in the same way that Dan Cross is waving to him. And he's been very subtle. Well, the other option is you go past Dan Cross and you get Yogi on the front straight, and personally I'd rather be dealing with the gentlemanly way this has been dealt with.
So plenty of smoke coming out of some of these cars now.
Rondell here in the 95. There's the 88 of Rob Gray giving it a treatment. The 26 is Jacob Pickles. And probably the fastest car out there is the 26, but Rob Gray, he's done a few derbies and probably the straightest car. Is that a MG Metro? Or not Metro, but
a Metro? Could be a Metro.
I'm thinking the Jag there, given the 76 car of Matthew Maddock a hurry up. So I'm thinking of a Rover.
Oh yeah.
Rob Gray got a Rover.
Plenty of sparks from underneath that 95 car, or 19 car.
It's more fire than spark, so we're going to go flash. But I imagine that the rescue crew will probably be chasing him shortly because
there is the fire, right?
He is on fire. Let's make no qualms about that. He is on fire. We're going to go red. Well, yeah, he's getting out. He's realised what's happening. So they'll put some wet stuff on the hot stuff. He's not real happy with his car. Well, he's straightening up the roof-ish. And they'll just feed it some water into this. Suffocate it. Beautifully done. Go put your ribs on the bar because it's all been smoked. So
first time we've had to stop this derby for a damaged car. Normally we stop every few laps, it seems, but this time round we've managed to get through quite a lot of laps without incident. So I think the call's gone out for the cars to go onto the
bunch them up.
Straight. Yep. So the 53 stock car there is going to act as one barrier. And up the other end of the track, that blue 50, is it 51? 61 car will act as the other end, and all the Derby cars will be sandwiched in between and have a good crack at each other. Find the last one going, and therefore the winner. $1,000 on the line, I think, isn't there, for the winner of this?
I'd say
believe
so.
Yeah.
And you get to take home your bucket of bolts for scrap steel, which is what it was to start off with. Of course, if you go past the sheriff, it's over. Oh, Rob Gray there getting a big hit from the Jag. Lots of steel there. And the 26 car just got to be careful. You overshoot. Right, he's just has he disqualified himself? Might have done enough to save it. As the 26 car just ploughing the 88 into, big pile up here, and the Jag's winding up. Oh, the Jag's winding up big time. Here it comes, race fans, and he just wallops some cars. So once it gets up and moving, he has got some pace. So we're up against the stock car. Now, bearing in mind that once you go past the stock car, your race is done. So Rondell on the 24 car of Elkington are the two that are still going. Stock car driver versus street stock driver. The 19 car of the Jag's trying to back out. He's managed to plough through, and he's going to clip Elkington. And is it Rob Gray there in the 88 just trying to have another crack back? But the Jag has got still probably the most mobile of these cars. Wee bit shortened up in the back end now. And Gray will back into it. Oh, straight into the driver's side. And we are right, here we go. Rondell's about to get squeezed into the wall there. Rob Gray's joining in there. The 24 Elkington's still moving. The 26 car, not clear as to whether or not it's actually going. But the back of the Jag is starting to look ugly, but it's still got some. Here we go, the 26 car, right into the back of Gray. So the Jag's going to straighten up into the 24 car. Rob Gray, that Rover was looking reasonably tidy before they bunched them up, and now it's getting pretty messy.
It's all very second-hand looking down there, isn't it?
So the Jag
still going. It's going to struggle to turn it round in that much space, though. Not a bad effort there.
He's been, I'm not sure what's going on. Yogi's had a very polite word to him.
He's about to get done. Boom.
Rondell just drilled it.
That's the diff shot that Dave McSherry was talking about earlier.
The bonnet's just about falling off. Here we go, Rondell's coming in fast. Straight in. There's a stocky in there cleaning some waste up too. So Rondell in the 95 car. Of course, he is one of the Canterbury crushers, and he just did the big dive bomb with the 95 car. And somehow,
still going.
What's left of that car? Rob Gray's just gone through, just tried to rip the side out of him. The 26 car's been told to go. He's been waved at.
Here comes Rondell again.
And
hit the stocky. He did really well to miss the driver's door there, though. You see there? He took that diff shot on the back. It's good.
So who's going to actually move? Because I'd say that Rob Gray's still moving. I'd say, here we go, Red. Yep, it'll be Rob Gray taking it away. Beautiful big shot there by Rondell. But the Euro trash car takes away the race one.
Thank you.
Car 95's the winner. So Rondell has taken away the win. No, 95 did. They disqualified it.
So thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for our racing tonight here at Ampro Tools at Woodford Glen. Great meeting brought to us by Kiwi Auto Spares. Thanks for coming along and watching our mayhem of our street stocks, our Wingless Modifieds, and of course our Demolition Derby. We're back in 2 weeks' time on the Friday and Saturday for the Battle of the Stocks. Take care on the way home, and we hope to see you here in a couple of weeks' time.